Well, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, Jenny with her ice blue hair.
It's finally Friday. This is my favorite wig still.
Yeah, she's looking fine too right now. Her fucking figure is getting great.
Well, all that
training routine,
all that not eating is helping too.
Not eating, lifting weights.
I do eat, just not very much. Yeah. Just not very much. Matter of fact, earlier, even though Tom's birthday is technically tomorrow, we decided we were going to do all of this stuff tonight. So
yeah, we got to work tomorrow.
So I picked up his cake, and we had a piece of cake. And
got that Publix cake.
Got your presents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Present I got was fucking a SIG Romeo 7 heavy-duty red dot sight for my rifles, for AR-15s. It's nice. It's kind of like something I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this is service-worthy. Back in the 90s, we'd have been impressed with that. It'd have been futuristic in the 90s, but it's a nice fucking red dot, especially for $200.
Yeah, it's $200.
It's built almost like a $600, $500 aim point. It's real heavy duty. I saw the tests on it and everything. It takes AA batteries, 60,000 hours of life, and it has shake awake. So that might as well be an unlimited battery. Because as soon as you don't touch it for a few minutes, it turns off. So then you pick the rifle up, red dot turns back on. It's nice. Got anti-flash lens on it and everything.
Yeah, the Mike Bowser is wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Jeffy Art is wishing you a happy birthday. Jeffy Art also says, love Publix cake. Every single cake I've gotten through. For any time it's anyone's birthday,
Publix
or
cake.
any occasion, we always order a cake from there.
Yeah.
They're actually reasonably priced. They're between $20 and $25, and that'll feed probably 4, 5, 6 people.
Yeah.
And every single one cake I've got from there has been phenomenal. Like his favorite one is like the strawberry and peach. What is it called? Strawberry and peach sensation.
I think it's what it's called.
Yeah,
because there's no frosting.
It's got frosting on it.
No,
but
it's not frosting. It's cream. It's whipped cream.
It's like whipped cream.
Yeah.
And then it has strawberries, peaches, kiwi, and grapes.
And grapes all.
And then it has slivered almonds all around the outside.
Yeah. And because it doesn't have frosting, it has whipped cream on it instead. It's like put on there with like a spatula.
It's pretty.
It looks like.
And there's a bunch of fruit on it.
It looks like frosting, but it isn't. That's the only cake I could eat. I could sit down and eat that whole cake.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
I could eat that whole cake.
Yeah, it's not real heavy.
And you don't feel sick afterwards. Like, I like cake with frosting on it, but usually, man, after a slice, I'm like, oh, I can't eat any more of this. It's too fucking rich, man. It's fucking icing sugar and fucking butter with whatever kind of flavoring fucking whipped into the damn.
Yeah, this one's kind of like more like a summer style cake.
Yeah,
like it's much
lighter.
lighter.
Light and airy and cool and fresh fruit on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fruit on it.
Yeah, nice.
Like all over the top.
They let the damn cake and the fruit speak for itself. You don't have to add a bunch of flavor on it. Good. Kind of reminds me like a big glorified Twinkie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the yellow cake with the fucking cream filling.
I think
like a glorified Twinkie.
I think for my birthday last year, I can't remember what I got last year, but I mean one year I got the cannoli cake.
Yeah, that's good.
And man, that was really good. Yeah. I might get that again this year.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they have another, as far as the ones with like the fruit on the top, they used to have one, or the Publix where we used to live had one that was like strawberry and lemon.
Yeah.
And it was a similar kind of thing, but a little bit different. And for some reason, the Publix, like down the street from us here, doesn't have that one.
Yeah.
So we got the strawberry and peach one instead, and that one is just, I think I like the lemon one slightly better, but that's because I like lemons like a little bit more than peaches. Mm-hmm. But it's still good. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to get like something with chocolate.
Sebastian has a good idea. He's in the comment section. He says, we talked about flat earth the other day. Can we talk about fake dinosaurs? Me and Jenny talked about fake dinosaurs one time on the way to the castle.
That's right.
Remember that? We passed the fucking dinosaur park.
Yeah.
And we started talking about fake dinosaurs. Yeah, that's a trip too. Dinosaurs were plant eaters. Human beings used to ride dinosaurs.
Yeah.
All kinds of stupid.
Well, the Creation Museum, which I don't know if it's still open. Where the fuck is that? Kansas? Kentucky? Somewhere in the Midwest someplace. And they did have, I think it was a Triceratops that had a saddle on it.
Yeah.
And I think it was like for photo opportunities. You could go in there and ride on. Yeah, because dinosaurs and people
were side by side,
like lived at the same time, just like on the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Who knew that was a documentary?
Yeah.
But well, actually, when we were watching the Flat Earth documentary, one of the dudes on there was also, not only did he believe the Earth was flat, but he also believed that dinosaurs were not real.
Yeah.
That was also another conspiracy. I'm like,
yeah,
that dude had some problems. You know?
Yeah.
Just saying. That's a whole other conspiracy on top of a conspiracy.
Well, they were always saying, one of the things that I remember, they would say, well, dinosaurs didn't eat all the people because they were actually mostly herbivores. Even like Tyrannosaurus Rex was a herbivore.
Yeah, he totally
and then
looks like a
people were
herbivore.
like, well, yeah, but those teeth, that's a meat eater's teeth. And then they'll pull out fruit bats. Fruit bats have teeth that have sharp points on them too. And that's just eating fruit. But it's real different when you're a little bitty bat. You know what I mean? And you're trying to nibble through the skin of some kind of a fucking fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to need some sharp teeth. You know, they're not grinding that food. They're too little. So it's just a bunch of wishful thinking. You know, dinosaurs were a long time ago. They were more like a bird than they weren't reptiles. Or most of them were. Some were. I think some of them were. Like a Dimerdon was a fucking reptile, but most of them weren't. They were just.
Well, some of them were kind of in between, you know?
Yeah.
In the way that, like, a certain line of dinosaurs generally became birds later.
When you look at things like parrots and blackbirds and stuff, the intelligence that they have little bitty brains, but they fucking pack a lot of power. It wouldn't surprise me if those dinosaurs were far more intelligent than we think they are. They're probably pretty smart.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I kind of feel like probably not so much nowadays, but I feel like the misconception was, like, when we were kids, like in school, that they were always talking about how dumb the dinosaurs were.
Because they had little brains.
I'm like, that doesn't
mean
necessarily mean anything. It's not so much the size of the brain. It's like how many connections are in there.
Yeah. And some of them had two brains, basically. They had a brain at the head and they had a little brain at the tail.
Sorry, I was thinking of Eddie Izzard. With a brain in the head and a brain in the bum? What was that for?
They had another one that's a brain and a tail.
Yeah.
And so the reflexes were faster. I think that was like Stegosaurus. They had a brain in
Did he have a butt brain?
He had a butt brain.
Well, that was because that was like that was one of his main weapons because
Right.
it had those big fucking spikes on it.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was so cool. I always thought the Stegosaurus was like one of the coolest looking dinosaurs. And the thing about it is you can't just across the board say, oh, dinosaurs were dumb, because there was thousands and thousands of different species.
Yeah.
Just like nowadays.
I don't think they know them all. They probably haven't found them all.
Oh, I'm sure they haven't.
all kinds of
I mean,
stuff.
like, look how long ago it was. I mean, it's amazing that they know as much about them as they do. Like, as rare as it is to find fossils and stuff.
Yeah.
Trey says, Jenny, that blue really suits your skin tone.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's probably why this one's my favorite. And honestly, like, whenever I wear this particular one out, like, I always get people being like, oh, it's like, I love all your wigs, but it's like that one just
Yeah, you should get some
is
more
like
of that
an
color.
upper level, I guess.
Get some more of those of that color.
I have two, like, of exactly this, because one of them got, like, a little... I mean, the wigs, if you don't, like, hang them up and brush them and shit like that every time, they get, like, real fucking fucked up really quick. But, so I have two of these, and I should probably get some more. Honestly, I was thinking about, maybe I should just dye my actual hair this color, then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But it is, like, hard to maintain.
Hard to maintain. You're doing it all the time.
Probably not as hard to maintain as the red, because it might not fade as quickly.
Yeah.
But you still gotta bleach it and all that, so...
Yeah. I have some.
Bleach?
Yeah.
I mean, I could get some.
I have some.
I've done it before. I've had lots of different... I mean, my real hair has been lots of different colors. I bleached it white, like blonde, for a little while. I didn't love it. I had it bright red for a really long time. I had it purple for a while.
Yeah.
And mostly I just keep it black because it's just easier, and it goes with everything.
Yeah, for those of you who don't believe it, I used to have my hair blonde.
Yeah, it was white.
White almost
blonde.
white. Yeah, I think when you first met me, I had blonde hair. Huh? It looked good. Everybody liked it.
No, I think when I first met you, it was black, but
Black, okay.
you bleached it not long after that.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Looked all Aryan and everything. Looked cool.
I mean, yeah, I liked it. I think I don't know. I think I liked the dark hair slightly better, but I mean, it both looked good. It's like I'm not like never really worried about it. Camp Guy said owls started hooting a lot last week. I noticed that too when I went out to get in my car to go to work this morning. It was about 6 a.m. And man, the owls were like hooting their asses off.
Oscar says going to need some content in that wig. Matter of fact, my screensaver is some content in that wig on one of my
Have
tablets.
I done any in this wig yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was a solo scene.
I did a solo scene and we did one together, like
Yeah.
a short one.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere. I think it's
Yeah.
like 8 minutes or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, by the way, guys, I got a Fansly account. During the time we were trying to fucking get
into OnlyFans and having
OnlyFans.
like a bitch of a time.
Yeah, having a bitch of a time. I went ahead and I said, well, I'm going to try to get into Fansly. And I forgot all about Fansly. I got a fucking notification that I got accepted. And I didn't even fucking apply correctly. After I fucking applied, and they wanted me to do a video holding a fucking piece of paper saying my name. And
Yeah.
I didn't say the date. So I didn't do it perfectly.
Oh, so
And
they
I
were
said,
like,
I'm going to get
whatever.
rejected. No, they came back and gave it to me.
Yeah.
So Jenny's gonna get one of those too. It's
I'll-
not as popular as OnlyFans.
Yeah, but I think it's like the second most popular.
Yeah,
Because
and-
I think OnlyFans, they were kind of getting into trouble,
Yeah.
because
You get to keep more of the money. They don't take as much from you.
that's true.
So I'm gonna keep my own account over there. I'm coming up with all kind of ideas what I'm gonna do with that shit.
Yeah, we were talking about it
Jenny
today.
was laughing her ass off. I was coming up with these fucking.
Man, he
ideas.
came up with like the best idea, and I was
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh my god, we totally have to do that.
It's gonna be a fucking solo leather daddy channel probably, where I berate you. All right, I fucking insult you about how small your pecker is. And I was said, Jenny, we're gonna have a fucking video where biker, what is it? Biker bullies you in the
Yeah,
men's room.
you said mean biker bully.
Mean biker bullies you in the men's
That's
room. I
what
said,
he
Jenny,
said.
we got to get you going point of view camera on your head. Because I got the mounting for that, for the action cams. And we'll sneak off one of these dead malls and we'll go to the fucking men's room in there and you fucking play the other guy. And I'm going to go in there and go, hey, what the fuck you doing standing up at the urinal? No. You sit the fuck down when I walk in here. You dare stand up around me. You know what I mean? A bitch like you needs to be sitting down. And fucking, and then, next thing you go, fucking... He's blowing me. It's going to get down to that. But it'd
Yeah.
be Jen.
Yeah.
But it's going to be POV, see? So it'd be like fake gay.
I just won't be able to talk because then
Yeah.
everybody will know it's not a
But it
dude.
was going to be like kind of like comedy, too. Everything I kind of came up with was going to be funny. Yeah. But it was for the gay audience, though. And just people that want to fucking goof on it, you know what I mean? But I thought it'd be funny.
I think it would be funny.
Because I would have my own channel.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna start one too. And then like if we wanted to post stuff together, like you just tag one another.
We just tag each other in it.
Yeah.
So it would just be like an ancillary account that I have. Now, another thing about fans is you can go live.
Yeah. Oh, so you can do that over there too.
You can go live on
Because I thought it was just like OnlyFans where you could just can you go live on OnlyFans? I don't know.
Maybe we never got in.
That's right. Because it just got to be too much of a pain. And
They're
I was
just
like,
fucking-
nah, fuck off. But we did get into Streammate finally.
Yeah, we're in Streammate.
We did get that, so we got that all sorted out. The problem we were having there was that one, I had forgotten to upload Tom's shit, and so I finally did that. And then they didn't accept my first address proof. Like I had to upload something else, like a bank statement or something, and then they let me in. We got a super chat.
Thank you very
much. Gadgy3, happy birthday, Tambo. I guess that's you.
Tambo. Yeah. Oh, it's like Tom and Rambo. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Hobbs say rah.
Or Tombo.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Zach says, Jenny, you reminded me of a story where someone brought a celebrity pic to a stylist, and the stylist interpreted the shadow behind the celebrity as part of the hairstyle. They went home with a muffin in their head. Aww. I mean, you would think...
I've never heard of that.
I could see that happening. I mean, but I would think, if I cut hair or anything, which I don't, because nobody wants me touching their hair or anything, but I would think that I would really check, like, before I did anything. Like, are we sure this is what we want? Like, and then I would, like, make them talk it out in words. You know what I mean? Not just the picture. Zach also asked, did you listen to that song I suggested for your video?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
Look like a country western song, wasn't it?
Oh, Jesus, was it?
I don't know. I gotta look at it again.
I
I got distracted, man. I was busy at the time.
Were you really?
Yeah. Busy talking to you.
Oh, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Because he's like, it's hilarious because like he'll just like randomly message me at work, and I'm always kind of like paranoid because shit. You know what he did the other day is that he just randomly, and I think I mentioned this on the show on Wednesday night, he just kind of randomly we were talking about something else, and then he just randomly messaged me that he's like, oh, when we do a scene, like a werewolf scene, we have to like get a paw print tattoo to put on your ass or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, random, but okay, that's a good idea. And then
it's not random.
And then, I know it's not, but it's just, it seemed random to me.
Yeah.
And then he sends me like this little GIF, like a little like werewolf porny like werewolf thing, and I'm just like, I'm in my office and like other people are like right there, so I'm always like worried somebody's gonna see it.
Yeah. If you see a girl with a fucking paw print tattoo, fucking I don't know if she's gonna know it all, but that means that she's into bestiality. That's what that is. I actually saw some rapper chick with those, and I was going, I bet you she doesn't know what those mean. But,
or maybe she does, and maybe she's into that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's into that.
She does, yeah. That'd be a funny tattoo to have on your ass during a werewolf fucking scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I just don't leave it there. I don't want anybody seeing that and getting any ideas. Then I'll get like all kind of weird messages.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's kind of reminding me of that fucking. But did we talk about this on Wednesday? Where that clip we were watching about the glory hole thing?
What about it?
I didn't remember if we had like talked about that like on the Wednesday night show or not. That clip you were showing me.
Oh
like
yeah. Okay, now that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was a. It was a fucking not a custom made. It was a fucking amateur made. Why am I talking about this shit? It was an amateur made video. Some dude and his girlfriend made in some kind of a sex video arcade, and dudes are putting body parts through these fucking holes, and
you know.
He's filming her below the dudes, and he gets fucking loses control, I guess. I don't know what it is, and then every now and then he jumps down there and fucking helps
like
her out a little bit,
and
the other dude doesn't know. And fucking, I just thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
and I was just like, did he tell those dudes?
Like later on, or did he just like let him think that it was a chick the whole time?
And there was like comments. They knew that dude's name by name.
Oh, okay.
In one of the videos, because they were there laughing. They go, yeah, that's what's his name, and he goes, the dudes are his friends. It's the whole thing's a setup, of course. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope so, because that would be kind of shitty to like have some. Although, like I said, if you're just sticking your peen into like random holes,
then you're gonna get what you deserve.
You're kind of gonna get what you're gonna get.
If you put your fucking shit through a hole and somebody starts sucking it, that ain't a woman. Okay, woman gonna call the cops. Okay.
They see some random dick poking out a hole somewhere. Yeah, they're probably just gonna call the
crazy.
police.
All right.
They're not gonna go over there and go, "Ooh, what's this?"
But in the comments section, they were laughing. They knew the dude's name, and somebody was like, "Did his buddies know that he was gonna do that?" And they were like, "No."
See, that's a little. I don't know if that's crossing a line or. Well, I guess it depends on what kind of friends you got. Like maybe they're just kind of like,
they must have signed a consent form.
Whatever his name is, that's just shit he does.
I would assume that they signed a consent form.
Because I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd be okay with somebody.
It looked like it was from the era of fucking VHS.
Yeah, it looked old.
It was old, yeah.
Like not old, but it looked like not modern.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
And back then, probably harder to control what was happening on VHS if you weren't selling it. And I have a feeling that was never sold. That was something he made for himself. That ended up on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Because that seemed to be their kink, you know?
Yeah. She was into it. The girl was into it.
And he was into, like, watching her blow other dudes.
Yeah, It
was
and when you look at the dude, you'd never think that it'd be that kind of dude that was into that. But, you know.
Well, hardly anybody...
Yeah.
That you look at, like...
he was tough looking. Looked like some fucking bruiser. Like, I wouldn't want to tangle with the dude. But and his girlfriend was super pretty. But you look at a normal chick, just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach says, or you're the black dude in Scary Movie who gets impaled through the brain by a schlong. Yeah. That's right. I totally forgot about that fucking movie. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Gramthars says it's only gay if you know it's a dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, yeah, because we were talking about that.
Because I was trying to work that out. What would happen? You know what I mean?
Nothing would happen. It's just that Some people might, you know what I mean? Like the world wouldn't end.
My friend
or
comes to me, you know what I mean? He goes, "Fucking, we're gonna do this fucking scene up, you know, fucking, she's gonna blow you." And I'm like, I'm looking at her going, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And then fucking, unbeknownst to my stupid ass, fucking, you know, every now and then it's him going in there, fucking,
right.
You know what I mean? But then I would think,
yeah, and I'd be like, "How'd you feel about that?"
You'd have to go like, yeah, well, I was kind of stupid, fucking. What was I thinking? You can't see what's on the other side of the fucking wall.
Yeah, I mean, you're really setting yourself up.
Setting yourself up, yeah,
for those kind of shenanigans.
Yeah. You should have known better. You should have known there was a catch.
Now, I will admit that it's pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody involved is, I mean, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of a gray area.
That was just in the comment section, though. They said the dude didn't know.
Well, it's kind of a gray area because, you know, you don't want people doing, like, shit that you wouldn't normally, like, consent to or whatever. But then again, like, these are all people that have agreed to be in this particular weird situation. So they're probably not that upset about it, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Oscar says, Jen, do a review for all the VHS movies. I already did that. I thought you were the one that asked me. I already did it. I did a video over on Scare Salon. Like a web, and I watched all of them and I reviewed all of them. Thank you, Jeffy Art. Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you.
Have a shot on me.
Thank you.
Off to work, but I'll catch you guys later.
I'm gonna try to get loaded. We're not gonna go out tonight. We're gonna stay here.
Yeah, I mean,
we had a shit ton of bills and fucking all kinds of stuff, and then I gotta buy a new motorcycle battery. On top of this other shit.
Yeah, we kind of, you know, and I kind of, you know, we bought a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I spent a lot on your birthday present.
I got hit $130 on fucking tag renewal for my motorcycles.
Yeah, because it's your birthday. It's your birthday month.
Your birthday present, motherfucker. Bam! Pay for your tags.
I think of that every year, like every September when I get my tag renewal. Yeah. I'm just like, happy birthday, me.
Yeah.
Although I think I paid mine for like 2 years, so I don't think I have to pay this year. But I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid 2 years last time. So I don't think I have. I don't know. I can't keep track of shit anymore.
Yeah, the XB12 lightning bolt died. Battery died. Right. Had to come rescue me. And that lithium ion battery died. Now, I hadn't been putting it on the computer and recharging it, but it's how old? Maybe 6-7 years old. I've got a lot of use out of that. It's a Ciarra lithium ion battery. The motherfuckers are worth every penny. They're $200, but that thing lasted about 6 years. And a regular lead battery wouldn't last that long. Not with the abuse that I put it through. It lasted, and it doesn't weigh anything. It weighed 3 pounds. It was like a fucking 12-pound weight savings over a little Harley battery.
I mean, you've had that for years, though, so you can't be too.
I could probably put it on. I've been putting it on. I got 2 of them. The other one's in the other bike. I've been putting it on the computer and fucking relaxing the chemicals and recharging and then relaxing trying to recondition it again, and it holds a charge. But I'm not sure if the problem was an old battery or if it's maybe my stator. I gotta fucking see how much voltage my stator's putting out. I gotta check that voltage regulator. The fucking thing is, I just don't trust that battery. It's old now.
Yeah.
You know. I'll probably just put a lead battery on it and run it.
And then for Christmas, I'll get you a new ion battery.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
if you want.
Sounds good. Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, that's a while away.
Yeah, that's a while away.
But I have time to save up.
We're making all this damn porn money.
I was reading an article, and I know this isn't going to happen to me, but I was reading an article in Business Insider about this woman who she started doing Streamate when she was 40 and went after the MILF market. Mm-hmm. And she's married and everything like that. And her husband is not on with her, but he's just like, yeah, girl, do it.
Yeah.
So she started doing it. And what she does, she streams 4 days a week. She says she starts at 8:30 in the morning and stays on until she meets her goal, which is $1,000 a day.
Damn.
And
she's a hard worker.
So she does Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
So that means she's
she's off the rest of the. And she said her best month, she made $80,000.
God damn. Just by being on there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would just, like I said, she goes on in the morning.
Look like?
Just like your standard, hot blonde 40-year-old.
Okay. Me and Jen go on Streammate and look at the competition. And we see who's hitting and who isn't. And a lot of girls, they're in there by themselves, so they don't have any experience in theater or streaming or, you don't know what their personalities are like. They just sit there, sometimes on their phone and shit. Other ones are working it. They're got a whole character going, and they're getting a lot of action, and they're not good looking. They're just okay, and they're getting the money because they're.
Yeah, most of them are not like
they're fun,
beautiful or hot, or I mean,
fun.
some of them are. Not gonna lie, but
remember that one girl who was just gorgeous.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful girls.
And she was just sitting there doing nothing, and she was she was a fitness chick. You could tell she was lifting, dark hair and everything. And she wasn't saying anything. I was like, I wouldn't give her any money. Somebody eventually gave her money, and went with it and did a little. She did a little thing, I guess. But the girls who were constantly busy were kind of just average-looking girls that were dressed cool and really working the crowd. A lot
and
of
like interacted with everybody that came in. Well, because like I said, and I even go like on my lunch hour and stuff like that, like I'll scroll through some of the people that are live like at whatever time and see just what they're doing, and I'm just like if I was a dude who was gonna pay for this, you know, who would I? So I would click on random people, and like 95% of them are just like sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Which I was like, well, if I'm gonna click in here, I don't. You know, there's nothing that would make me like stay there because they're not like interacting.
It's like fishing
with the camera or anything.
It's like fishing for dudes that are trying to jerk off. Ain't that something?
Well, yeah, that's exactly.
Ain't
what
that
it's
something?
Like. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of competition. People are just gonna be like popping in and out of your room, like if they click on you. So it's like you have to be like entertaining like all the time to get people to like stick around. I would think.
And some couples do well, but. From what I've heard, the couples that do well aren't just doing basically sexual stuff. They're just entertaining, and they're
well, because
they're doing kind of what we do here.
Right.
It's just there's different angles to it. You know, they're drinking games and stuff, and you know.
Oh shit! We should do that.
They do all kinds of shit on there.
We should do like drinking game type stuff.
And the guy's got to be. See, the thing is that the guy in the team. Has to be careful. You're not really to be intimidating or scaring off the fucking male customers. You're trying to fucking be like the carnival barker calling guys in.
Well, you're good at that though.
So it's I'm just gonna use the sales techniques that I used. You know, like when we would go to the conventions, I'd fucking sell all of Jenny's books. I just start fucking grabbing people. You know who Jenny Ashford is? You don't? This is Jenny Ashford right here. And, you know, just start introducing them and fucking then. Jenny would fucking. You want to? I'll tell you what. The book's only $10.99. Go ahead and take a picture with them right now, and fucking you guys can fucking go, and then you'll have it for the picture for your Facebook. Oh, it sounds good. Autographed copy, fine. Okay, another $5, whatever, and fucking just suck them into the sale. You know what I mean? Fucking. But they had a good time. The whole thing was in it.
The whole we didn't make them do anything they didn't want to do. I mean, they stopped and looked at the stuff.
Yes, and we'd entertain them and talk them, get to know them, and sell them a book and fucking entertain them for 5, 10, 20 minutes, however long they wanted to be entertained, and then they'd walk off and then we'd grab another one.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Tom's good at that.
I'm real good at it, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm not good at, so it's a good thing that he's good at.
I'm real aggressive with that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. We just need a new gig, you know, and we want to be able to continue this show, because we like doing this show.
Yeah.
And in order for us to continue working, we got to start pulling in more money, and we got to pay bills around here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
everyone
everyone does.
Pay, yeah.
Leslie says, "Nice pendant, Jenny. Very fancy. Thank you. I actually got this on Shein. I think it was $2. Maybe not even $2. Maybe it was $1.60 or something.
We will plug the shit out of Shein.
It's just plastic.
Shein's got great clothes for women. Not so much for men, but for women, great clothes. And they're cheap and they're good quality. You have to wait a little bit, about a week, but when they show up, they show up. I
mean, everything we've ordered, and we've made like a lot of orders when they were since then. I think everything has come in a week.
Yeah.
So if you order it and then like a week later it arrives.
We probably spent about $250, $300 maybe on Shein total, huh?
Something like maybe a little bit more than that.
A little bit more than that. And really, if we were buying at a retail place, if it was like a Hot Topic like back in the day, it'd be several $1,000s worth of shit.
As much clothes as I got.
As much clothes.
I got basically
whole racks.
I basically got a whole entire wardrobe.
A whole wardrobe for about $300-$400.
I haven't even worn all of it yet.
Mm-mm. Okay, she hasn't worn this. She just got this. Show that. That was only like $14, wasn't it?
Something like that.
$14.50. It's black velvet.
Like I got
black velvet dress.
I got so many dresses. Like I said, I haven't even like had time to wear them all.
Yeah. It's a black velvet baby doll dress.
Yeah, see, it's like that, and it's got like a corset-y kind of front.
And back up so they can see the whole shape of it. Go over here, That's it. I'm not bossy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a cute fucking dress.
Yeah,
Really
like
cute.
it's super comfy too.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was thinking that it was gonna be like Wish and all the stuff was gonna be made of like newsprint or something like that. But all of the stuff that we've gotten has been like really good quality.
Real good quality, yeah.
Like really thick material.
It's
not cheap shit.
They got like shit like fucking tan combat boots and military style stuff, but I'm looking at it and I'm going, that doesn't. Nah, I wouldn't buy that. You know what I mean? The men's stuff isn't that good.
Good thing I'm a lady. Let's see. Zach says, yeah, Alan Arkin died. Oh, that sucks. Well,
he's old.
He was older, yeah.
It's time for him to go.
But I mean, he's a great actor.
He's gone into the nether world of the Force, man. He joined the Pleroma.
John Smith says, apropos of nothing, just watched The Bay. Yeah. Damn, that's some nasty shit. That was a great fucking movie. Whenever anybody asks me like what some of the best like found footage, even though technically it's mockumentary, but that's kind of like a subgenre of found footage, that's always one of the ones that I recommend. That's a great fucking movie. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's good. If you like found footage, watch The Bay. It's really good. It's mockumentary, like I said. And it's nasty. It's real nasty.
Which one that was about?
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it? Okay.
I saw it. But I really liked it.
Pookie, say hi, everybody.
Hi, Pookie.
Say hi, everybody. No, she's been social all day. She's always social, in your face. She waits for Jenny by the door. She knows when Jenny's coming home.
Yeah, about a half an hour before I get home, she goes and parks by the front door and like.
Yeah, and just looks at the door, waiting for you to walk in.
Waiting for Mama.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Like Tom sent me a picture of like her.
I'll snap a picture. And go, look, she's waiting for you.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Gramthars says, I've read that most dudes that do gay porn aren't actually gay. It's just another shoot.
Yeah. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the percentages, but yeah, I mean, you know, gay porn, I guess there's like, it's better for men in the porn industry. They make more money doing gay porn than they do straight porn.
Women don't buy porn.
No.
All right. So
why would we? We buy erotica.
Yeah, they don't buy
like written erotica.
Oh, pretty much only men do. They're real visual. Well, your top-notch male performers want to make money. Well, that's not in straight porn.
No.
All right, I don't want to insult dudes that are in straight porn. That's second and third run shit.
Well, they just don't make as much because they're not the draw.
Right. And they're also just lower on a totem pole in terms of looks. All your real good-looking dudes who are super jacked and shit that are in porn are in gay porn.
Yeah, that's
overwhelmingly straight guys.
That's where the money is.
And what they do is you say, well, how could a straight guy have sex with porn? Technology. They use something called Trimix, which is a mixture of three things. One of them is Viagra, and the other two are something else. And it's a liquid, and you inject it directly into your dick. And they'll use it in surgery too if they have to do surgery on a dick. It's dick surgery shit. You will rock up within a few minutes. And you'll be totally rocked up for fucking 12 hours, no matter where you want to or not. There's just no way it's going.
Well, that sounds a little inconvenient.
Yeah. And once they're on that shit, they'll do anything. You know, they can do anything, even if they're not into it, and they won't lose an erection. Problem with Trimix, talking to the guys in the industry that I know, like fucking Bill, is habit forming. What ends up happening is, guys are like, you know what? I got a hard on, but it's not as hard as it was when I was on Trimix. And then he starts thinking that way, and all of a sudden he can't maintain an erection because it's not as good as it was before. So it's psychology. So they just say, fuck it, I'm going to go with Trimix. And then the next thing you know, they can only get it up with Trimix. So they kind of get psychologically dependent on it.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of happens with anything like that.
So, because you feel bulletproof when you're on that. Nothing can stand in your way. Yeah, I'll shoot. Yeah, fuck the car. Yeah, I'll fuck a car. Bring a car in here. Oh, yeah. Fuck a 700-pound chick. Bring her in here, man. I'll do it. I'll do anything. Yeah, I can do anything right now. So they kind of get dependent on that.
Yeah. And then they're also talking about Julian Sands. Yeah, they did find those remains in the mountains, and that was indeed Julian Sands. That's what everyone thought that it was because
that's
he had
right.
disappeared.
He came up missing, didn't he?
Yeah. They found him. He got lost and he died.
He got lost and died?
I guess. I mean, that's what they... But yeah, that sucks, man. I always liked Julian Sands. He was in Warlock, and he was in Arachnophobia, which is a great fucking movie.
What was he? He was on a hiking trip or something?
Yeah. Like, he hiked in that area, like, pretty frequently, as far as I'm aware, but I guess I don't know if he got lost or he got, like, or disoriented or something. But he was missing for a while, and everybody just... They pretty much knew that he...
Well, what killed him? Exposure?
I'm guessing.
He didn't have his equipment with him.
I don't know.
Weird.
I haven't read that much about it, but I did see the article that said that they had identified...
You can't kill me by doing that. I just spent too much time out there. You just keep walking in a straight line until you find a road or a river.
Well, like I said, I don't know what
That's
happened to him. I don't know if he got attacked by an animal or I don't really know.
Yeah, something more to it than that.
Camp Guy said, famous movies with coin-operated XXX live strip shows. Maybe Taxi Driver. All I can think of off the top of my head. There was recently a horror movie called Revealer, which was pretty much entirely set in a strip show booth. Which was actually pretty decent if you want to see it. It was like pretty low budget, but I think it was on Shudder. But I really liked it. The Mike Bowser, that's David June, by the way, says, my fat ass will run an OnlyFans. Who wants to see a tub of lard lay on the moves and get dissed? I don't know. Some people might want to see that. You never know. Well, see, that's the thing. That's one of the things that's really enlightening about scrolling through StreamMate, because like I said, we usually look at that because that's, you know, the platform we're going to be using. So we like to just see, I don't want to like call it the competition, but we want to see like what other people are doing on there. And the thing about it is that there is a mind-boggling array of different looking people. There's young people, there's very, very old women, there's hugely fat people. Yeah. There's just like, and everybody, it seems like everybody's getting some play. Like, obviously some people do better than others, but interestingly, the top, because we were kind of looking at, it's like, who's the top people like that are live right now, like whatever time it is. And it's not necessarily who you would think. Like, yeah, some of the girls are like young and hot, but not as many of them as you might think they were.
When you go on, especially on a weekday, and you look who the top performers are who are live at any one time, it's going to be cougars, women in their 40s and 50s.
That seems to be the overwhelming. Yeah, it seems like older women is really like a big thing. And
they range from smoking hot to fairly hot to okay. They range like that. And then underneath them will be the younger ones.
Yeah.
The younger ones are underneath them, like 20s, 18, 24. But a lot of times they're jumping on the cougars. There's a lot of, you know, there are fucking dudes that are just, young guys like cougars. And also I think it has to just do with the fact that middle-aged guys like cougars. So I think just the odds are a cougar is going to be popular.
They have broad appeal, I guess.
Yeah. They're statistically likely to have a good fan base. Because a cougar is harder to get, in a way. Most women after 40 don't look that good. If you see one after 40, she looks good, she's kind of like stands out. So there's kind of an element of power there. I like cougars. I'll take a cougar over a young girl. And I think most guys are like that. Now, will they marry them? I don't know. They're not really married. The guys that are in this game are not looking for wives. They're looking for release. All right, and a cougar is like, that's the way to go. They got experience, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the guys that are looking for the younger ones are kind of more getting off on the fact that they're older than that girl, and that maybe they're wiser, and that they're kind of like above them in a certain way. You know what I mean? That they're a little bit higher ranking.
I think there is an element of that.
So, well, the thing is that that's good, because what it is it's bringing out like protective instincts. Let me take care of you. You know what I mean? You need help. That's not the deal with the cougar. The cougar's more of a peer-to-peer relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or somebody who's above you. If you're a guy in your 20s and you're looking at this fucking hot cougar, and me and Jen knows cougars. Fucking Sonia could go to the club and pull fucking 19-year-old guys. She was 43, 44.
Yeah.
And she'd just take a late guy in his late teens. He's not even old enough to drink. She'd just have him like putty.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she was real good at that.
She's real good at that. Yeah, and it's, you know, and that was, and you know, fine. She's not looking to get married either. This is just fun, sex.
Yeah, I mean, back then she's in.
Yeah, back then. She's not like that now, but she's went back with her husband. But that was just like ego boosting to an older woman, if you ask me. That she can beat out all these young girls in the eyes of a 19-year-old dude. I
mean, the youngest I dated a guy that was 11 years younger than me.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. And I've had dudes, like, really young dudes hit on me, too.
Yeah.
Like, at the club and stuff.
Recently?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, I go to the bathroom, I come back, and I watch some dude fucking chatting her up, and I pause and I'm watching it from across the fucking bar. Fucking, I was grinning. I was like, what's she gonna do? And I saw dude was being cool. If he wasn't cool, I would fucking jumped in there and stopped it.
He was actually, the one I'm thinking of, the most recent one, he was very nice. Because you have to watch, you never know. Like, because a lot of dudes, you never exactly know how you can't be mean. Because you never know if they're gonna like fucking go off on you. You just don't know what kind of dude that is. But this dude was like actually very nice.
Yeah, being a guy, fucking, you can see a young guy in his 20s. You can see him going through the motions. You're like, yeah, been there, done that. I know what you're doing, dude. Okay. Now you're getting up your nerve. I see you. I'm watching the whole fucking process.
Well, no, I mean he was really nice, and I liked that.
Yeah.
When I was just kind of like, because he was like wanting me to buy me a drink and stuff, and I already had a drink and I was with somebody and everything like that, so I was just kind of like, I was like, no, that's okay, and I was really nice too, which I wouldn't be if you were an asshole. If you were an asshole, I'll just be a cunt right out of the gate.
Yeah.
But he was actually and he was really cool about it. Yeah. He was just like,
Well, I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew I was there.
No, he didn't, because like I said, I think you were in the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't think he knew I existed.
I don't think that he saw you like before. Because most of the time you're there and it's very clear.
Yeah.
But sometimes if somebody just wanders in and you're like in the bathroom or out on the back of the patio or something like that, like you do get people approaching. And like I said, I don't mind if people approach as long as they're cool. Yeah. And as long as if I say no, I don't want to like do what you
fight over it. Yeah.
Then just be respectful and be like, oh well, that's okay. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I won't be an asshole unless you come at me like being an asshole.
Yeah.
And then I'll be a total cunt.
Me and Jen's already talked about this fucking long time ago. When that shit happens, I like it. I actually kind of get a boost out of it, because then all of a sudden first of all, it's good for your woman to get hit on by a good guy, because that makes her feel better. All right. And it kind of makes me feel better that you're with a woman that's being desired by other guys. If nobody wants her, then what the fuck you want her for? You know what I mean? And then when she says no, you know that, that's kind of a confirmation that you can trust her.
Yeah.
So, I never get mad at it if it's a cool dude. I get mad when it's a dude that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and is obviously fucking violating.
Well, yeah.
And he's obviously out of fucking line. Then I'm going to have to beat your ass. Like, you grab her ass and shit, I grab you by your fucking throat.
That didn't even say nothing to me. He was just like, he didn't look at me. He didn't say anything. He just, like, walked by and did that. I was like, really? Did you really?
I was on that motherfucker like stank on shit. Had him by the fucking throat, and he's trying to get away from me.
Like, what exactly?
I feel my fingers touch each other. I was on trend at the time, and fucking...
What exactly did he think that was going to accomplish? I mean, I guess he didn't really think about accomplishing
Even his friends wouldn't defend him.
That actually kind of cheers me up, because it's like, at least his friends were like, bro, don't do that.
I said, if I see him again, I'm gonna kill him. And then those dudes vanished.
Yeah. The Mite Bowser, who, like I said, I'm pretty sure is David June. I love y'all, but there's no way I can watch y'all's OnlyFans. It would be like watching my friends naked. You're a little curious, but you feel like you're violating privacy. I get that in some ways, but I don't know. I guess we've been in so many situations that I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
The OnlyFans, the stream mate thing really wasn't oriented towards 13 o'clock. It's not to swing you guys over there. That'll be a different fucking scene over there.
Probably. I mean, if you guys want to come,
right? But if you guys want to come, you can. We're not shy of that.
No, I'm not shy.
And here's another thing: is that stream mate is not like chatterbait, where you're in public doing this fucking weird shit and anybody can see it. That's not like that on stream mate. It's like this. If somebody wants, you can't. You can do topless, but you can't.
Yeah, you can show boobs, but that's about it.
That's it. Anything other than that has to go private, and that person has to pay for that.
Yeah.
So everybody else wouldn't see it. It would just blink. We'd black out.
So you
We'd be
can't,
back in a few minutes.
So you can't just randomly like wander into our room and like see all kind of like crazy shit.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Like you might see tits. I think you can show tits.
Yeah.
I have to like look again at like what the regulations are, because we did see one woman that was like that had like sucking on dildos.
I think you can do that.
So I guess you can do that.
Can do that, yeah.
But you can't do anything like below the belt. You can't do, so there's no like below the belt nudity, but you can show titties. Right. I guess you can like suck on dildos. You can do that kind of stuff, but you can't do like anything other than that unless people pay, and then you have to go private, and only people that pay can see it.
Yeah, and it's like depending on what the rates are, it's usually like $4.99 to anywhere from $2.99 to $6.99 a minute. Now, there's another way to do it is you can do what's called a gold show, which is a private show. Anybody who pays in gets to watch it. And you set how much gold, it's like 200 gold, 500 gold. We'll get about a little bit more than half of that.
I think it's 65%.
65%.
I think.
One golder equals $1. And you set a time limit, like, okay, show's going to start fucking half hour. It'll start when we hit 400 gold. And then this is what's going to be in the show, and it's like stipulates we're going to do this, this, and this, and this during the show. Other people will start coming in. If we don't meet the goals, we can either start the show, even though it didn't meet the goal, or we can say we can kill the show and you get your money back.
Yeah.
And that's a gold show, and then it also stimulates how long. It will also be stipulated how long the show will be, and they're at least a half hour. You really want a show probably to be an hour or so. And you're going to have a bunch of different shit you're going to do in the show. A lot of it's just entertainment stuff. We're going to do this, and this. And then you can interact and tip during the show.
Yeah.
Then there's another thing you can do is you can go cam to cam. But we probably won't have that feature. We don't want to see anybody.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that. It's just like, that kind of weirds me out.
If we're going to have cam to cam, it's going to be expensive.
I mean, I might get to a point where I'd be okay with that, but we were talking about it earlier because I said to him, I was like, I kind of like the idea of like doing the stream like that, and just like, I know that it's actual people watching you, but it's like, I kind of like abstract it.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's much easier to do when you're not seeing them, like right in your face.
Yeah.
When it's like an actual person. You know what I mean? So it's like, I might get to a point where I'm comfortable with that, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah. We'll take it. The show will definitely be us, and it will be humorous. It will be humorous. Yeah, I mean, I don't really plan on super, like, pretending to be somebody I'm not, because I'm not good at that anyway. Yeah. But
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. John Smith asks, what's on your shirt? It's hard to see. That's your Obscura Undead shirt?
Yeah, that's that's our friend Sherry Mouse.
That's her, like, radio show thing.
That's her it's her YouTube channel.
Her YouTube channel.
Obscura Undead.
Obscura Undead.
She hasn't been working on it recently, though. She handed it off to some friends. She hasn't been feeling well. I've been talking to her, actually. I talked to her today.
What's the matter with her? I haven't seen her
I'm trying to get down to the bottom of it. She said that
I haven't seen her since
off of all social media. She's not feeling well. She's had some kind of thing going on with her life. I don't know if
she's DJing a show, though, in a month or so, because I did a poster.
I think we need to hang out with her.
Yeah, I mean, she's in Tampa, but
Mouse is probably the only black female goth that we know that is and she's a famous DJ. She's cute, wears like fucking New Orleans kind of Mardi Gras goth outfits mixed with everything. You never know how she's going to be dressed, but she married this other guy. I don't know if they're still married. I think that might have something to do with that. I don't know.
Maybe. I remember them getting married. I remember that. Yeah.
Married a goth white guy from the scene. I think he was a DJ or a musician, wasn't he?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him that well.
Yeah.
Man, I got really behind. Ben says chubby chasing is real. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean a lot. Well, hey Zach. Sorry, I got super behind on like all the comments.
Yeah, Jen does that.
What? Well, you were talking, and I didn't want to like interrupt. So
what'd Zach say?
Zach says, "Thank you very much." By the way, speaking of, I hate in movies when they get real pretty actors for realistic stories, like an indie drama about a McDonald's cashier, but it's Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Then they have to like ugly him up. I'm like, why don't you just get like a real regular looking person to like put them in the fucking. Oscar says, "Love them Cougars." Yeah, we know you do.
Yeah. Oscar. We went camp to camp with Oscar and his girlfriend.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. His girlfriend's hot. Everybody's hot. It's all right. You go camp to camp with your hot.
Well, like I said.
Yeah. She was crying over you, dude. Fucking. She's like, I hope he comes back. But he came back. He came back.
Are we allowed to like say that kind of stuff on there?
Yeah.
I don't know what's been going on. You've been talking to him, I haven't.
Yeah. They're good.
But
They're
okay. Shit. Tammy said, oh, wait a minute. Where are they talking about this? Oh, okay. So, yeah, they were talking about Julian Sands. And then Camp Guy said, we had a dude on the next road over from ours that died when his four-wheeler turned over on top of him and he couldn't get it off. He smothered to death.
Yeah, it happens.
The coroner could see scratch marks. Holy shit, I remember that like show I Shouldn't Be Alive, and it was just like this guy that just like rolled over on his fucking legs. Like he lived, but
fucked his legs up for life.
It's crushed his legs. Did he have to have them amputated?
No, it's just that they were all.
They were
all fucked up.
I don't think he could walk after because they were, and he was under there for like a day and a half, 2 days, something like that. It was some crazy. Yeah. And it was because it was like out in the middle of fucking Alaskan wilderness or some shit like that. I was like, I can't imagine. And then like he almost got eaten by coyotes and shit too. I'm just like, oh my god, no, thank you. And then Tammy said, I worked with a girl whose 6-year-old died when a four-wheeler rolled over on him. With him on it. Oh, shit. God, I can't fucking imagine. That is horrifying. Horrifying. Yeah, Camp Guy said a friend whose big brother almost died when he had a car wreck. The car landed on top of him and he was smothering. Luckily, the paramedics got there just in time. Said they told him they pulled cars off the top of dead folks all the time. Ugh. Ugh. And so I think about it all the time, like I said, because... You know, now that I have to commute so far for work, so it's like I have to, you know, drive 2 hours every day, like an hour there and an hour back. So I'm always like really, really aware of like, holy shit, like at any moment. I've only ever been in one accident, knock wood or whatever. I'm not superstitious, but I'm just saying. And it was very, very minor. And it's like, it wasn't even, I was on my way to work. It was probably back in 2015, I want to say. And I was on my way to work. I worked in Longwood, which was only about 8 miles from where we lived in Sanford. And I was going into the turn lane. There was an SUV in front of me. And I guess whoever was in front of the SUV, for whatever reason, because the light was green, and then the turn arrow was green. But for whatever reason, the person in front of the SUV, like, stopped suddenly. Like, they just hit the brakes like that. And so the SUV stopped suddenly, and I didn't have time to stop. So I plowed right into the back of the SUV. Luckily for me, the SUV was not damaged at all. My car was fucked up. But the whole front end, it was a Nissan. What the hell car was it? Nissan Sentra? I can't remember what kind of car it was. But it was a Nissan. It was white. And so the whole front end crunched in. The airbags deployed and everything. But all that happened to the SUV guy in front of me was his coffee spilled all over the cabin, like, of his car. But he was like cool about it because I was like, dude, there was no way I could stop, because it was just the light was green. I don't know why the person in front, because I couldn't see like around the SUV, so I couldn't see that the car in front had stopped. So I just like plowed right into him. I shouldn't have been following so close. I know it's kind of my fault. But the thing about it is that the cops came. And they were just like, man, it really seemed like just an accident. Like, I didn't get blamed, and my insurance didn't go up or nothing like that. Because it's just like, it seemed like it was nobody's fault. It was unavoidable. So, I mean, you know, and the insurance paid for everything. And happily, I was not injured. Although I didn't realize how the car was old. I think it was a 2002 or a 2003 or something like that. And like I said, this was in 2015, I'm pretty sure. I didn't realize that when the airbags deploy... which is good that it did, but it fills your whole entire car with this horrible smelling powder stuff. So it's like for a while, like it just like burst in the car, and like I couldn't see anything because the whole inside of the car was like filled with like this white powder shit, and it like smelled really bad. And I was just kind of like, holy shit. Yeah, it was awful.
Victor Garcia's in there saying, yeah, well, McDonald's has some hot guys working in it sometimes. Victor, now you're going to say that fucking McDonald's turned you gay.
Well, he already said gay porn turned me gay.
Gay porn turned you gay.
And McDonald's. It's those French fries, man.
French fries.
Anybody would go gay for those French fries.
They soaked them in fucking sugar water. and then they fucking cooked them in
That's
beef
what
tallow.
my brother told me, because my brother...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's true anymore, but it's Well, they don't cook them in beef tallow anymore,
Okay.
I don't think, because vegetarians complained. But, well, see, the thing is...
Sugar water, bro.
I'm pretty sure they soak them in sugar water before they freeze them. That's what my brother told me. My brother worked for McDonald's for a long time.
Yeah, no, that's a known fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I would used to cut fucking potatoes to make French fries, I'd fucking soak them in salt water, and then sometimes the chefs would be like, "Hey man, put 3 cups of sugar in that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Really?" They said, "Yeah," because we had them in big old fucking barrels. Mix them up, and then when we'd cook them, and we had them cut as more like potato log kind of, like like the big fries, the big healthy fries. They came out, they tasted just like fucking McDonald's French fries. Like, oh man, that's good. And he goes, "That's that sugar,"
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Sugar makes everything better.
Yeah, it's sugar and salt, but sugar.
It's really weird. I was reading, because there's like a food blog that I read sometimes. And I was reading an article on there that kind of made me feel like I'm isolated and alone in the world. But it was talking about how shitty steak fries were. And I'm like, wrong, sir. Wrong. Yeah. Steak fries are the best fries.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You just have to cook them right.
I mean, I think that was the thing that they were complaining about. It's like, oh, they're such bullshit because nobody ever cooks them right and they're always like too mushy. Look, it's like French fries are good. I don't care if they're mushy or crispy or whatever. I actually prefer them slightly more on the mushy side as long as they're kind of crispy on the outside.
We used to batter them.
I mean, McDonald's fries are epic. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But I used to like, and this was a long time ago, but I used to like that KFC did those potato wedges that still have the skin on them. Holy shit, those were good. I really liked those.
We used to batter fries. You know that?
Yeah.
You run them through some batter.
Checkers did that for. I don't know if they still do it, but Checkers used to do that.
Run them through some batter, and the batter was just like regular kind of like egg wash, and then you would throw them through flour, and the flour had been seasoned with fucking Zatarain's fucking Cajun seasoning.
Yeah. Checkers did that
and
too.
And then you fucking throw them in the fucking fry basket. When they come out, they'll have a slight crust on them, and man, they're good.
Like I said, I don't know. I haven't been to Checkers in a long time, but where every now and then I used to go to Checkers because they had a walk-up in Daytona. And they had battered fries, and they had two different, they had like kind of plain, and then they had ones that were like kind of spicy. You know what I mean? So I always got like the plain ones. But yeah, they were really good. They were like really crunchy on that side.
And shit.
I know, I'm like super behind. Okay. I'm so sorry that I got like this behind. Yeah, always wear a seatbelt. Yeah, I always do.
Y'all need to bust them drinks open, man. Come on, it's Friday.
Oh yeah, McDonald's has some hot dudes working, so okay. Yeah, Ben said because more people will go see a movie with Angelina Jolie than starring some random 7-Eleven clerk. Yeah, you got a point there.
A fucking friend of mine used to fucking make a point out of fucking picking up hot black girls at fucking who worked at McDonald's.
That was like their kink?
Yeah, it was this thing. He always had his black girlfriend.
Because he liked that they smelled like McDonald's.
Where'd you get them? And he goes, I get all my black girlfriends at McDonald's. And I said, really? Okay. Because, yeah, they got cute-looking black girls at McDonald's just to drive through.
Huh.
Yeah. This is a long time ago.
I mean, I never really noticed because it's like you're usually driving when we go through the McDonald's drive-thru, so I don't really see what they look like.
Yeah, his name was Joey. Joey Mills, the biker guy I used to know. This is years back, though.
Zach says KFC still does those, the potato wedges, I guess. Had them within the last year myself. Anyway, I haven't been to KFC in a really long time, so I don't know. And Victor said Popeye's fries are battered. I didn't know that. I don't think I have gotten... We went to Popeye's probably a year and a half ago, but I don't think I got any fries. John Robertson said, Jenny, do you have any good book suggestions that have old-fashioned witchcraft? It's one of my favorite subgenres of horror. I love the books set back in the 1600s and 1700s. Ooh, I can't think of anything offhand, but I will look into it and see if I have anything that I've read anything, and I'll get back to you because I can't think of anything. Because usually I've read some stuff about witchcraft lately, but it was always modern day. You know what I mean? Camp Guy said McDonald's owns the land for just about every store they have. Franchises too. If one of the owners doesn't run the place the way they like, they will shut them down. McDonald's is really in the real estate and French fry business, not the hamburger business. I mean, and I'm gonna say, McDonald's, as much as they're disparaged, I don't think they're disparaged as much anymore as they used to be.
No, they're good.
Yeah, it's they actually do have some decent food. It's not as cheap as it used to be, fast food is, I guess. But, I mean, most of the shit they have there is pretty good.
McDonald's is a fucking miracle of fucking mass production and sanitation. In general, McDonald's are clean, and fucking the way the kitchens are run, it's like a robot working it back there. It's hard to fuck up this system. They're very, very organized, and they keep control of everything down to a single slice of cheese. I mean, their inventory is fucking fantastic. What is fantastic? What is so strange as being a cook myself is the unbelievable consistency of McDonald's. No matter where you are, it tastes the fucking same.
Pretty much,
and
yeah.
That's the selling point. You go to McDonald's, you know exactly what it's going to taste like.
Yeah.
Here's the downside of McDonald's. McDonald's has somehow come to represent American food overseas. That's not American food. American food's not really like that. That's just McDonald's. It has its own flavor.
Yeah.
And it's good. It tastes good. I love a Big Mac.
Especially when you're drunk.
Well, when you're drunk, it's great. The Big Mac's good. And it doesn't taste like a hamburger. It tastes like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Fries.
Because we make hamburgers at home all the time.
Yeah,
they don't
on the
taste
grill.
They don't taste anything like a McDonald's
like
hamburger.
No. It's just it's kind of like a glorified vending machine. That's what McDonald's is.
Yeah.
But you know exactly what it's going to taste like. It's like when you buy a Snickers bar, you know what it tastes like. There are times where I'm going like, look, man, I'm hungry. I want what's a good way to put it? I'm hungry. I want a hamburger. Okay, well, I'll go get a hamburger. It won't be McDonald's. I'll get a hamburger, maybe with Five Guys.
Yeah, or Red Robin.
Or Red Robin, yeah. But then sometimes I'm like, I want a McDonald's.
Yeah.
I want fucking a Big Mac.
Because that's its own thing.
It's its own thing. Yeah. I want a Big Mac and I want those fucking fries. There's been times where I said I want a Whopper and I want those onion rings. But man, fucking Burger King is really kind of sucky lately.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Well, and the one that we usually end up going to because it's on the way to various places. Like, we would usually stop at it because it was the most convenient place, like, on the way to the movie theater, like, from where we used to live. And it's a shitty location. I'm actually surprised it's still open.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, super hard to get into, and it's, like, really... They redid it and stuff, but it seems like they don't have enough employees, and it's like all this. There's like one person working in there, and they're just kind of like, I'm just trying to work the window, and they can't work the front desk at the same time. And it's like sometimes the food is okay, and sometimes not so much. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's really inconsistent. But I don't know. I never liked Burger King as much as McDonald's anyway. And honestly, I like Wendy's better than both of them.
Yeah.
But we don't really have a Wendy's that's like convenient. You know?
And Wendy's tasted like Wendy's. It didn't taste like McDonald's. If you wanted a Big Mac, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that there. Yeah.
I think I liked Wendy's because they had baked potatoes, which I was a big fan of. And
they had a salad bar a lot of times.
And they had a salad, but they don't anymore. But they used to have a salad bar. And the Frosties, of course.
Yeah, those were good.
And their burgers and chicken sandwiches were actually good. But I haven't been to a Wendy's in probably like 2 years, so I don't know if they're any good anymore.
You could get the double burger and the triple. Remember the
triple?
triple?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I was watching a thing the other day about their the value menus and like which ones had the best one and everything, but it's just kind of like I don't know. We don't eat at a lot of fast food places, so I don't really know like what all the offerings are. The only thing
they're not cheap anymore.
Well, not really. Well, no, because some place like I don't know about. I think Wendy's still has like the $5 box meal or just like, but you have to get like a set thing. It's just like a junior cheeseburger. Nuggets, a drink, and small fries, and it's like $5 or something like that. Yeah. So all of them do have like these cheap menus. There's usually like a couple only things that you can pick from. Yeah. You know what I mean? But still, I mean, if you only have $5, that's like
you got an old school Southerner there. He makes his own potato wedges. Who said that?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's David June. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though. When you talk about old school Southern stuff, if you ask me, fucking Popeyes. Hard to beat Popeyes. Popeyes chicken.
Man, I wish they still had the shrimp po' boy.
They had the best. They had the best fucking.
They don't have. That
they had
anymore.
The best red beans and rice ever.
Well, still do according to everybody. And now they have like the best chicken sandwich. Everybody has lost their fucking shit over that chicken sandwich that came out. I think that chicken sandwich like single-handedly like fucking upped their profits that year whenever it came out. And then everybody like all the other fast food places were like, "Oh shit, we need to like up our chicken sandwich game too."
Kentucky Fried Chicken fucking kind of lost its mojo. You don't see them around much anymore. They used to have another one called Churches. When I was a kid,
Yeah, that's still around.
Churches was pretty good, but then it started to get greasier and greasier. And
I've never been to one, though.
the problem with Churches, from the last time I went to a Churches, I walked in there and the place was fucking filthy. Like, all the tables were dirty and shit, and I was like, fuck Churches. Churches, I don't know if they even exist anymore.
I think they're still around, but I'm not real sure. I remember there being one in Daytona, but I'm pretty sure I never ate there. Where we used to eat, like, we used to get KFC sometimes, because, like I said, when I was growing up, my dad managed a KFC.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, we would get chicken, you know what I mean? And my uncle, like, owned a franchise, like, in the area, so we would always get chicken, like, for family get-togethers and stuff. However, probably about a mile from my grandmother's house where I grew up, there was a local place called Hampton's, and they had fried chicken, burgers, and foot-long hot dogs. And man, that shit was delicious. I don't know if the place is there anymore. It's probably not, but because it's been there since like fucking 1906 or whatever. It was like a really, really old school like diner kind of place. The fried chicken was like kind of greasy, but in a way that was like really delicious. And those foot-long hot dogs were fucking amazing. Yeah. They put them on. They were like real. A little bit not burned, but they were like a little bit like crunchy, like crispy on the outside. And they put them on crunchy. Like a big slab of like crunchy garlic bread that was like a foot long with like butter and shit on it. And man, those were good.
See if you Southerners remember fucking Wards. That was
I remember that.
Remember Wards?
Yeah.
Mississippi was filled with Wards. And a Wards was kind of like the dollar store of Mississippi. Wherever there wasn't any food, they'd build a Wards there. You know, like in the middle of a damn food. What do they call it? Food, not a food oasis. What do they call it? A food desert.
Food desert, yeah.
And have awards, and they were around since I was a little kid. And it was a burger joint. The burgers were pretty good, but they weren't great. They tasted kind of homemade in a way. But one of the Ward's burger I used to get was a fucking hamburger with chili on it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they put lettuce and fucking...
I would never have got that.
Yeah, that's a chili burger. Yeah. The French fries were okay, and then they'd had shakes and shit. But it was just real ghetto, real fucking redneck, southern.
Yeah. Or sometimes that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you wanted, yeah. And it was like... It was a place where fucking black Southerners and white Southerners fucking went and they ate together. In fucking Wards. Or they all agreed that shit was fucking Southern as fuck.
It's kind of like how Captain D's is nowadays.
Yeah, like Captain D's. You're going to have fucking rednecks and fucking...
I don't know if they have Captain D's anywhere other than the South, do they?
Yeah.
It's a chain.
It's a chain.
It's a fast food chain.
It's a fast food seafood chain.
Yeah.
That is very good. You get a lot for your money, and it's deep fried Southern...
Deep fried fish, shrimp, hush puppies. They got fried green tomatoes.
Yeah. French fries.
Yeah, they got all that
stuff. Stuffed crab.
Yep.
Iced tea. Sweet tea.
Everything is like super, super deep
fried.
fried.
Yeah, and it's usually...
Everything.
usually all black staff.
Even the sweet tea is probably deep fried.
It's usually all black staff, kind of older black women running it up front. Like your black aunt, all right? And they're fucking sweet as shit. And fucking... They cook with pride. That last one we went to a couple months back. We need to go back to fucking Captain D's.
Yeah.
The food's always good there.
It's a lot. You get a lot. It's like more than I can eat, to be honest.
And then like you look across the way and there'd be like fucking a table of 10 and they're all fucking black people in suits and shit. Dresses because they came back from church. It's just like...
Yeah, they hit it after.
It's just like old school Southern shit.
Like I said, it's a chain.
It's a chain.
But
it's tradition here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get old Captain D's. They got a drive-through. It's technically fast food.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they have a drive-through and everything.
Yeah,
but we would always eat
for
inside.
Rednecks and shit though. That's fancy though.
It is fancy because you can eat inside of the table. And they give you the big things of fucking sour cream.
And it's not kind of like some other restaurants because it's been around for a long time, and it has like a biracial clientele, and it's Southern as shit. The people that work there always take a lot of pride in the fucking cooking. I'm a cook, I know. I could listen to that fucking kitchen back there. There's all these fucking black dudes fucking, and that kitchen was fucking banging. Because they were running the drive-through in the front, and fucking all the food that was coming out of there was good.
Yeah,
and I was just like, yeah, this shit here was cooked with pride, because they're cooking for our people. They're cooking for our people. You know,
yeah.
It's like a cult.
Some fried catfish.
Yeah.
Fried green tomatoes.
Yeah,
and some hush puppies and French fries.
Need
like
to go
I said,
back.
it's a big fucking platter.
Fried green tomatoes. And for you Europeans who are listening to us, a tomato, you can ripen a tomato and eat it. If it's green, you can't eat it unless you cook it. You batter it and roll it in fucking seasoned cornmeal and deep fry it. It's a delicacy.
It's good, yeah.
Real good. Real good.
Yeah, I feel like that's thing. Kind of a. Did they do fried green tomatoes anywhere else?
No.
Or any kind of like kind of green tomato?
And alongside okra, deep fried okra. Shit, no. That's
you deep fry anything, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much. Because I'm not a big fan of okra otherwise, but I mean, deep fried the shit is good.
I've had some people disagree with me, but as far as I know, my fucking culinary history is pretty good. Deep fat frying with batter and cornmeal is an African thing that's in the South. And I've had some guys say, no, they fried in Europe too. Yeah, they fried, but I don't know if they battered and used cornmeal and corn flour.
Maybe, I'd have to look it up. I'm not real sure.
Some of the things that they're using, like okra, that's an African vegetable. As far as the Southern culture goes, Southern food in general is Africanized food. It has a strong African influence in it. Southern culture, if you go back and study African American historian Thomas Sowell, he'll tell you that Southern culture and African American culture is the same culture, and really it goes back to like the wild lands of Ireland and Scotland, because you have to understand what it was like back in the slave days. You had a lot of free black people with fucking white people living side by side as subsistence farmers. There's a good movie you should see. It's called The Free State of Jones, and I'm from Jones County, my dad's side of the family. And this is long before segregation and everything. There was a lot of cross-cultural and cross-racial breeding between free blacks and poor whites, all right, during that time. And our languages merged, and our cuisine and the cultures kind of merged. And Southern culture is black culture, and black culture is Southern culture. It's the same culture, just being expressed by two different people. Although as white Southerners became more gentrified, they became more English in ways. There's Thomas Sowell explained it. He's got whole videos on it. Motherfucker's a genius, and he's tracked down source material and witnesses of the day, of those days, foreign witnesses who were impartial, witnesses to what was going on, and they'll tell you all kinds of stuff about Southern culture. Very fascinating. Very fascinating.
Mike Bowser said churches is here in Indiana.
Oh, is it?
They're awesome. Yeah, they're dirty, but
they're dirty. Yeah. Last time
and
dirty.
James Knapp said there's a Church's Chicken in Kansas City. Like I said, I'm pretty sure. Well, there was one in Sanford, not that far from our house. I don't know if it's still there or not. It was over by where that Starbucks and the mattress place was. You remember where that was? What the fuck was that road? I can't remember the name of that road was. But yeah, there was a Church's up there. I think it started out as a Bojangles.
Yeah, Bojangles.
And then the Bojangles closed, and then Church's opened. Yeah, Bojangles moved somewhere else.
They moved to a better location.
I don't think I've ever eaten at a Bojangles.
Bojangles is good.
Now that I've...
Yeah, Bojangles.
There's a lot of fast food places that I haven't eaten at.
Bojangles was good. What I had there was barbecued pulled pork sliders.
All right.
On like dinner rolls, and it was real good. It had pickles and shit and hot sauce. The thing is that, like we said before, the fast food is getting good. It's got real good quality.
Well, it had to.
It had to, but the prices went way up. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
For the amount of money you spend, they say like Bojangles. Shit, I could go to fucking Fifth Element Indian restaurant and eat all you
Eat
can
as
eat
much
Indian.
as you want.
Yeah, or I could go to fucking Koi Wan, fucking Chinese restaurant for fucking $12 and eat all the fucking shrimp I could stuff myself with, and I'm a protein type motherfucker where I got to have a lot of shrimp.
Well, not just shrimp. You can
Shrimp,
eat all
eat
the
steak.
You could eat all the pepper steak you want.
They'll have sliced steak there. It's not even pepper steak.
You could eat all the peanut chicken.
Yeah,
you want.
So I just gorge myself on fucking protein.
You could eat all the squid you want.
Squid, yeah. So
You could eat all the crab you want.
So the corporate chains, even though they're just banging, they get a lot of business. They're not really the best deal right now. Best deals in all these buffets, Indian and Chinese buffets. They fucking give you. They'll feed you.
We're a big fan of the buffets.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because a guy at work was asking me to recommend some restaurants in the Orlando area because I guess he's coming here. And
I would go to Memories of India.
That was the first one I recommended.
Okay,
I was like, I don't know if you're into Indian food or not, but that's my and that's not technically it's not Orlando, it's Lake Mary, but you know it's like outside of Orlando, and I was like, that's my favorite restaurant in this area. And yeah, I told him about Koi Wan. I told him about that place that we went to in Mount Dora for my birthday last year, that British pub.
Yeah, the British pub.
The Magical Meat Boutique.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so it was like a classic British pub. It was owned by British people, like a British couple owned it. But I have to go back there actually, because that was really good. I'm trying to think of like what other places I recommended. I think I recommended Fifth Element, which is like an Indian buffet. They have like a normal menu too. You can order off the menu also, but then they have like a small buffet. It's not like Koi Wan where it's like a massive buffet, but they have like a small buffet. It's probably like a dozen dishes, maybe 15, 20 dishes, something like that. And they're always really good too. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We don't really like I said, if we find a place we like, we usually just end up going there like all the time, so we don't really like try out a bunch of different stuff as much as we kind of. I was like last week I was like, man, I want to like find a good Thai place, you know, that's close by, but we just never get around to it. We'll probably end up going to Koi Wan again tomorrow. We did find a closer Chinese buffet to our house. It's actually, I think it was actually 8 miles away rather than Koi Wan, which is like 20 something. Well, 18 miles. I think it's 18 miles from our house, or 24 miles. I don't remember. I looked it up. The hilarious thing is that during the week, so we went to this place. I don't even remember what it's called, but it was like another Chinese buffet and it was a lot closer. So I was like, well, that's good that we have that option. But we went and ate there and I was like, well, it's good, but it's not anywhere near good as Koi Wan or Ichiban, which was with the other one that we went to, which is still kind of far, but was also pretty good. I was like, well, you know, if we absolutely have to have Chinese buffet stuff and we don't feel like driving all the way there, at least this is close by. So I'm like at work the other day. I don't remember what day it was. It was probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. And I get a text. From Tom.
What was it?
And he said, I was telling him about the because you know that other Chinese buffet?
Yeah.
And he sends me a text. I'm at work, and he just randomly sends me this text. He said, I'm cheating on you with that cheap Chinese chick, is what the text said. And I just, like, busted up laughing. And I was like, I immediately knew it. I was like, oh, you're at that. He's like, yeah. He's like, actually, it's better when it's busy. Because when we went there, it was like there was hardly anybody there. And, like, the food was okay, but it was, like, kind of cold. Like, a lot of it was kind of cold. They did have egg foo young, though, which Koi Wan doesn't have.
We can go to that tomorrow if you want.
Well, it's your birthday, so you pick. You can pick anywhere you want to go.
We'll go check the prices.
It's on me.
Really?
Yeah. It's your birthday.
I just want to eat a bunch of shrimp.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, we can do that anywhere, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Koi Wan, we can go to Koi Wan.
Koi Wan has steak.
We can go to Ichiban.
The only thing about Koi Wan is it's farther.
It is kind of far.
Ichiban didn't have steak either, but the food was better.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do Ichiban. Although Ichiban was only 5 miles closer, wasn't it?
It wasn't that much closer. Yeah, it was like literally 4 miles closer than Koi Wan. Because the only thing that's cool about Ichiban is that it's right across the parking lot from a Books A Million.
That's true.
But see, that might be bad too, because every time I go in Books A Million, I'm going to spend like a lot more money, and I don't really have a lot of money. Because every time I go in there, I'm like, ooh, look at all this, you know what I mean? I think like last time I went in there, I didn't do too bad. I bought 2 books, and they were in the bargain thing. So I think I only when I bought a chocolate bar too. So I think I only spent like $15 in there, but still.
Ben's talking about Red Lobster. Yeah, we like Red Lobster.
I actually like Red Lobster,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's oh God, I got so behind. Somebody was asking me before about I think I mentioned on the Wednesday night show about how they taught clogging in school. And he said we had to do square dancing. We did square dancing too. Actually, we did square dancing every year in elementary school and maybe junior high, like for PE. And I remember, like, the girls would always be kind of like, we weren't like into square dancing per se, but we were always like, ooh, the boys are gonna dance with us and stuff. And the boys were like, kill us now. Like the boys like did it because you know it was still the girls had cooties phase. So we liked the square dancing, but the boys did not. But yeah, we did square dancing at school too, pretty much like every year. I think every year of elementary school we did square dancing, and the boys always looked like they wanted to fucking die. It was hilarious. But yeah, so a lot. I guess churches is still a thing because a lot of people are talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, John Robertson said, "Yeah, Tom, we have Church's Chicken here, but it's in the bad side of town. That's where it was in Daytona too.
Yeah.
But it's the best in town. My great-grandmother raised me, and she cooked the best fried chicken.
Okay.
She was 89 when she passed.
Oh, I remember liking it. It's just that the last time I went,
I don't think
it was
like I said, I don't
trashed.
think I've ever eaten there.
It's
Not that unless I was a little kid.
it's not like KFC. It's not like Popeyes either. It's just its own thing. It's more kind of like homemade tasting fried chicken. At least that's what it used to be.
Mike Bowser says, Captain D's is in Indiana, too.
Is it?
Once when my daughter was like 7, I asked what she wanted for dinner, and she said, I know a little place called Captain D's. I burst out laughing.
Captain D's is southern as fuck.
Raisin or right.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana is kind of... That's not considered South. That's Midwest.
Midwest, yeah.
I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure like what the reach of Captain D's was because I don't really hear anybody talking about it.
It's a southern thing, but it just grew.
Yeah, like I'm sure they have locations like other.
It's probably
places.
exactly the same too. If we described it accurately, then you got it. Then that's what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, is it the way we described it? Is that the way it is there? I mean,
maybe he said she acted like it was an exclusive restaurant that needed a secret knock.
yeah.
This little place called Captain D's, without realizing it's a. That's so cute though. They're 7. They don't know. I used to be really into. When I was a kid, because I was like a total seafood whore, still am. I used to be really into Arthur Treacher's. Now, I don't even know if Arthur Treacher's is still around.
Sounds familiar.
I know that there used to be one. There was one for a long time in the Orlando airport, but it was like a fast food place that was along with like A&W root beer or something. Because I remember eating there last time I was at the airport, which was probably like 10 years ago. But Arthur Treacher's in Daytona, like probably like 2 miles from where I grew up, there used to be one, and it used to be like this big sit-down restaurant, right? And it was right next to Gooding's, the supermarket that we always went to. And I would always like, we never went because, you know, we were kind of broke, so we didn't like go out to eat any time usually. But, you know, every now and then we'd order a pizza or get like crystals or something, but we didn't like usually go to restaurants. But whenever we did, we always went to that Arthur Treacher's, and it was like this huge, oh my God, it was like this big thing. Like it was kind of like a better Long John Silver's. It was like a classier Long John Silver's. Like it had like all the booths with like green leather on them, and I guess it was supposed to be kind of like a British pub, but I didn't know that at the time because I was
all
little.
Dressed up next to me, compared to me. I'm gonna go get my damn vest, my new vest.
Oh, well, you feel underdressed?
Yeah, I'm underdressed now. I got a new vest. I look like a damn Star Trek villain from fucking the old Star Trek.
I mean, you already look like a Star Trek villain.
Hold on, I'm gonna get my shit on.
It's like, y'all's gonna make me hungry. Why is it always go to food? We need to talk about grits. Man, I haven't had grits in a long time. Like I said, I've been trying to lose some weight because of this new endeavor that we're doing. So, pretty much the only way I can lose weight is just like by not eating. I'm 50 something years old. It's like, I'm pretty, I don't love it, but this is pretty much the only way that it works. I have to go severe calorie restriction. So.
What do y'all think it is?
Yeah, look at that shit. I like it.
I want my porn outfit.
That's your porn outfit.
I look like something out of down Star Trek.
Like, I like it though. I like that. Yeah,
it's got fur on it.
Yeah, it's very fashionable. Yeah, that's kick ass. Yeah. That's kick ass. We're gonna do a whole thing with that.
Maybe I ought to wear this with my werewolf outfit.
Yeah, we're thinking about somewhere. I look okay.
My fucking dog head.
I looked on Shein, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at like werewolf. They don't have any werewolf stuff.
No, I had to make a werewolf.
So I'm just thinking if I'm gonna do what I'm picturing, I might have to make it myself. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I want it to be, if we're gonna do a werewolf, I'm still vacillating between sexy werewolf or lady predator, because I kind of maybe want to do lady predator too. Okay. Which one will be harder? Probably lady predator would be harder. But I kind of want to do, because look, I'm looking at like pictures of like sexy werewolf, all this other kind of stuff, and it's like most of them are just like sexy lady with like some fuzzy ears on. I'm like, that's lame. Yeah. I was like, I want to look like a werewolf. I want to do the whole fate, like the muzzle and everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to look like a fucking dog. I want to have a dog head, but it be like hot still. Is that weird?
The might blower saying I look like a fucking white-faced Klingon. Yeah. Tom the Merciless and shit. Okay. Is Gramthars hammer? Is he still in the chat? Is he still?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. I saw him earlier.
Say Gramthars, if you're there, man, go ahead and fucking drop something in the comment section so I know you're listening.
Tammy said, you might want to look into Irish slaves. Might be a good show topic. Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I was thinking, because I read a couple of books about that.
Yeah, people forget that the Irish are slaves here.
Yeah. Man, the poor Irish, they always get fucking picked on.
And then the railroads slaughtered fucking hundreds of them at a time. Evidently with a machine gun.
Irish, Chinese?
Yeah, Irish and Chinese. When they were building those railroads, and they were buried along the sides of the railroad tracks, and nobody knows exactly what happened. But, you know, the railroads were powerful back then. They had their own armies, their own courts that can sentence people to death. That's how fucking badass the railroads back then. People worried about big tech today and shit. Man, the railroads in the 1800s.
I mean, they straight up had people killed and nobody did anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, I suppose that's how
they were worse than the British East India Company. You know, which they would do some weird shit to the Chinese. But
man, that'd be a whole other show, to be honest.
Yeah, the British East India.
That's also a fascinating topic.
Yeah, they were kind of like a mercantile mercenary.
So yeah,
Marine
I mean,
course.
I'm not saying it's great nowadays. I'm just saying that
it's a lot better.
I think it was worse, a lot worse back in the day. There was like no repercussions.
No,
because there was no.
Well, there was no telecommunications was part of the problem.
That, and there was like, there was really no legal ramifications. They had money. They were a corporation. They could just basically do what they wanted. It was like, oh, okay, I suppose so.
Well, today we're basically being, and look, me and Jenny were some pre-internet motherfuckers. The internet has changed the fucking game. All right, shows like this would have never existed back in the day. It's loosening the stranglehold over information and the power of elite ruling families, really, that control governments and corporations. They're like something out of the Roman era, the ruling families. They're, at least a lot of them, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them are bad. And governments, not just the U.S. government, but governments work for them, not you. And it's always been that way. When we talk about the railroad companies, machine gun and Chinese and fucking Irish, they're doing that not for the government. They're doing that for the rich people that own the government. All right, people forget how the hierarchy actually works. The government are servants to the oligarchs, not the other way around. And now that you have the internet, the stories can get out and be disseminated. Problems aren't governments per se. The problems is the governments are fucking under the control of bad people that are oligarchs.
Well, that's why I kind of always say that as much as people piss and moan about the internet, I don't think I would want to go back.
No. At
all. Like, sure, it brings up a whole host of new problems, but it solves a lot of problems as well.
The big problems, the main problem for the past 200 years, even maybe you can go back to 400 years, really, back in the honky motherland with the church, the problem is that without an internet, the ruling class can control the information that you get. And with that control, they can shape your opinions. And one of the things that they tend to do is shape your opinion away from the evil shit that they do. They don't want you to know about that. So they're going to raise you on fables. And I was going out fighting wars and doing crazy shit back in the 90s against fucking Iraq. And I'm still friends with all these guys. What they told us back then was all lies. And it didn't serve America. It didn't serve American people. It served oligarchs and the corporations and the companies that they owned and controlled. It's a scam. I don't trust any of them. None of them. Not anymore. The people have to know what the actual chain of command is. You know, you can elect anybody you want to, and they're still going to work for the people that have the money.
Oh, shit.
It's been that way since Rome.
Okay, where I got really behind.
But now we can at least talk about it, at least here in this country. But they'll try to stop that too. But you can't stop the internet. That fucking cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's.
You can't stop it.
There's no putting that genie back in the bottle. No. That's for sure.
The only thing,
which, like I said, it shouldn't be.
There's only one thing they could do is try to kill fucking power. All right. In other words, so there's no electric power. Then you'd be able to stop the internet. But as soon as electric power is stopped, the United States and the entire West is now weak and open to invasion. The Russians or the Chinese would just come in here and liberate the place.
I think they're smart enough to know not to do that because their own shit like depends on that as well.
Yeah,
so it's like they're not going to shoot themselves in the dick.
They won't do it
like that.
A lot of these people that are trying to collapse shit and control shit and trying to adopt the Chinese model here in the United States because they think they're controlling it, and the people that are fomenting rebellions and counter-rebellions and what's called destabilization, it's a process. The people that are destabilizing the United States think that they can ride a tiger. They can't ride a tiger. Chaos is chaos. Their shit will be on the menu too. Okay? These motherfuckers are smart. They're very intelligent. But they've never been in a fucking fist fight. How do you think they're going to fare in a fucking global revolution or a global world war? As soon as their money becomes meaningless, their hired security goes, wait a minute, this dude that I'm working for, he did this shit. And he's not rich anymore. Kill him. Let's take his shit. Oh, by the way, get that helicopter. Where's the fucking sex slaves? Where's the harem? Let's go visit the harem. Because they got all that shit on these fucking sex islands and shit. As soon as this situation crumbles, the security turns on them. And that's what happened in Roman Empire all the time, you know. I mean, fucking emperors got killed because fucking Praetorian Guard turned on them. So, yeah, they will shoot themselves in the foot. They are that stupid, or at least some of them will. We'll see. We'll see.
Camp Guy said, I heard about a dude that had a cherry seed inside his nose since he was a kid. He had forgotten about it, and it showed up on a dental x-ray.
I heard about that, too,
I remember hearing about that,
yeah. A long time ago when I was a kid.
I mean, I guess that could you stick shit up your nose when you're a kid, and you just, forget all about it. It could just be in there. Ben says, there was a really nice all-you-can-eat Sri Lankan buffet where I used to live. That sounds good. Food was great, but a few times I saw people unwell out the front. I guess you mean puking. They also got closed a couple times by the health department. Hugo says, Guillermo del Toro is making Frankenstein. I just sent my resume. Wish me luck. Well, good luck. I don't know what you sent your resume for, but, you know. Ben says Red Lobster. Yeah, so Red Lobster, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Red Lobster. One,
they're pretty good, yeah.
The Cheddar Bay biscuits are really good.
All you can eat.
All you can eat. Yeah, they just keep bringing them. Yeah, fill up on bread. Well, I think part of the problem, I try to only eat one Cheddar Bay biscuit because it's like I want the stuff. But I have a problem, and I don't know if it's just Red Lobster in particular or if it's just because a lot of the food is fried. Because it's happened to me when I tried to get stuff that wasn't all fried too, is that every time I eat at Red Lobster, maybe it's just the portion size. Maybe the portion sizes are too big. But it's like every time I eat there, it's like I get to a point where it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to throw up. And sometimes I do. Like, sometimes I, like, kind of, like, not throw up, but, like, you know, kind of gag and shit like that and, like, throw up a little bit, like, in the parking lot. So it's, like, I'm not really sure if... I don't know. I think it's just the quantity. Because it's... And I've known, like, some Europeans that came here on vacation, and they will eat in an American restaurant and be like, they can't believe the amount of food that they'll give you. And it's like, I get that because I can't eat a large amount of food. Like whenever we get a Koi Wan, which like I said is an all you can eat Chinese buffet, I can eat maybe 2 plates, and then after that I'm gonna have a hard time. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I really need to stop eating right now, or I'm gonna like puke all over my lap. But I can't imagine, like, because Tom will go in there and he eats a whole plate of boiled shrimp, and then he'll go in and like he just keeps going back and getting plates and plates, and then he'll get like 2 or 3 things of like ice cream at the end, and I'm just like, where the fuck are you putting all this? I can eat. Yeah, it's like I can eat 2 plates, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna heft. I better like stop eating right now. And I usually like the last few times I haven't even like been able to like put any ice cream in it, and I don't eat a lot.
No, as long as it's meat, I can keep eating it.
No, I can't.
No, yeah,
I can't.
I just if it's something like rice or pasta, I can't eat a lot of it.
But that's the thing. We go to Koi Wan. We don't eat no rice, no noodles, no nothing. Because they have all that, obviously. They have fried rice, they have like they have lo mein, they have all that stuff. We don't eat any of that.
Meat.
Yeah, we just eat meat and vegetables.
That's it, yeah.
You know, all I eat in there, I'll eat fish, I'll eat shrimp, I eat scallops, crab maybe if they have it, pepper steak, mushrooms. That's it. Like that's it. I don't get any carbs, I don't get any anything like that.
Well, you might get a little bit of carbs because we eat the wontons.
I ate one. I ate one pork dumpling last time. Because those are good.
Yeah.
So I will get those. But it's like, I pretty much don't eat anything. And like the last couple times we went, I was like, I didn't even get any dessert. I didn't get any ice cream or anything. Okay, so it's like, sometimes I'll get fruit. Like if they have watermelon, I'll have that. But it's like, other than that. But yeah, we just eat like steak and fish and shrimp and...
Yeah.
I eat a lot of fish and squid, whatever fish and stuff they have. I usually get that. But even then,
it's good for your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, no rice, no noodles.
No.
As much as I love noodles, I do, but I don't get any because it fills you up, and it's too many calories. Too many calories. Yeah, I got really behind. Victor said the first churches opened across the street from the Alamo. Ha. I guess they're still around. I mean...
I haven't seen one around here.
I haven't seen one in a while. But like I said, where we live is kind of rural. So it's not like we're driving and seeing like fast food places. I drive, miles and miles down the street, and all I see is like people's farms and fields and shit. I don't really see any fast food places. Let me see if there's a church that's near me. Gadgy3 said, what is grits?
Fuck, man, don't fucking bring me on that shit.
He's again. Scottish.
Yeah. Church's Texas chicken. We have those. Is it that?
Wait, is it called Texas chicken? I thought it was just Church's. Well, okay.
That's what it says here.
Grits is hominy.
Yeah.
And they soak it in, I know this is going to sound gross. They soak it in lye until it kind of like blows up a little bit, like popcorn.
She already kind of messed up. Hominy. Grits is made out of hominy. Hominy is corn.
Yeah.
Dried, cracked corn, like the kind you get to give to cattle. You put that into a big old fucking barrel, fill it full of water, and put lye in it.
That's what I said.
Yeah. But you didn't tell them it was corn. Grits are corn.
Yeah.
When you put lye on fucking corn kernels, cracked corn kernels, it'll pop like popcorn. That's what it is like. But it'll be like a soft popcorn. The consistency almost kind of like beans, maybe. Like cooked beans. Well, you can take that piece of hominy that's a popped kernel and mash it up and blend it. And then dehydrate it. And it becomes these little dry grits. They look like sand. It looks like sand.
It's kind of like cream of wheat.
Yeah.
If you know what cream of wheat is. It's like that, but corn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
it's like the same consistency. It doesn't taste like that.
No.
But it's like the same kind of consistency.
So it's these little gritty things. It's almost kind of like cornmeal. Well, you take that and put that in boiling hot water, and it'll reconstitute, and it'll become something
like a porridge.
Polenta. It's a lot like polenta.
Yeah, it's kind of like polenta.
It's more like polenta, when it's done. And people who don't know what grits are, if you told them, like if you spiced them up and gave them to a European and told them it was polenta, they probably would think it was polenta. But it
is kind of similar.
It's hominy, corn. It's good, real good.
Well, you can't just eat it plain because it doesn't really taste like anything. Yeah. It's just like anything else. It's just kind of like one of those things. It's just like a baseline thing that you can like dress up. One of the big things in the South is shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
Which obviously is what it sounds like. You have like grits, you have shrimp in there, and there's like all kind of different spices and stuff like that. And if it's done well, it's fantastic.
I like Cajun cheese shrimp and grits. Yeah. That's where you got the grits with Velveeta cheese in it. Which makes it fucking cheesy.
Velveeta is not cheese, though.
It's not cheese, but...
It's Velveeta.
Yeah, it's Velveeta. You could probably put cheddar in there, but you'd be wasting your time. It's probably better to just put the fucking Velveeta in there to give it that smoother texture.
Because it
melts better. And then you put that in it. And then you might want to put a little bit of bacon bits for flavor, because Southern food is always better with any kind of bacon in it. Put a little bit of that in it.
Well, yeah, everything's better with bacon.
And then you fucking shake some, like, maybe Tony Chachere's fucking Cajun seasoning in it. Or the Creole seasoning, that'll work too. Which will make it slightly reddish. And then you put boiled shrimp in it that's already been peeled. Put that on top of it, serve it. Butter. Fuck. Crazy? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you need a lot of butter.
Is it good for you? No.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely. It's all carbs.
Don't eat it every day.
No.
I mean, unless you want to die.
Get fat. Fat as fuck.
Yeah, and die fat. But, well, whenever, like, every now and then, Tom will make some, not usually for breakfast, but we usually have it for, like, dinner.
Like a lunch or dinner.
Yeah. But he'll usually make them, and he usually puts bacon in the, like, he'll make some bacon and then cut it up and put bacon in there, and then he'll put, like, whole boiled eggs in there.
Yeah, boiled eggs.
Like, and then you cut up the boiled eggs, and that's really, and cheese.
Yeah, you don't put the boiled eggs in it, though. What you do is you put it in the bowl, and then you put hard-boiled eggs on the serving.
Yeah.
So you can fucking get a little bit of hard-boiled egg on your spoon, and then just...
Yeah.
It's like polenta.
Yeah, it's good like that. It's good like that.
And it'll have little bits of bacon in it, and fucking cheese and seasoning.
But you can do, like I said, they're kind of plain on their own, but you can do all kind of things. Basically the same kind of things you could do with polenta. You can do the same kind of things with
My
grits.
dad and his friends, that generation, they wouldn't put anything in them except salt, pepper, and butter.
I used to eat them like that as a kid, and it was good like that.
Yeah, if you seasoned them, they looked at you like, "Oh, that's Yankee shit." They fucking didn't like that at all. They were like, they
Southerners like just food that's disgusting. And it's like that's like a point of
no
pride.
Flavor.
It's like we just want to eat stuff with no flavor, and if you want to like flavor something, they get all offended.
Oh yeah,
like you're being a pussy or
like
something.
like you're being a pussy. Like you don't want to flavor fucking real cornbread.
I'm just like, that's okay. I'm just gonna be enjoying my food over here while you're just like choking down your whatever.
When you get cornbread here in the States or probably overseas, fucking a real Southerner like my dad and his buddies and shit would fucking turn their nose up at that and go, that's Yankee corn cake. And cornbread tends to be in a restaurant a cake-like sweet.
I mean, that's good too.
Thing. It is good, but that's not cornbread. Real cornbread is fucking only about an inch high. It's very coarse and dry, and there's no flavor in it. There's no sugar in it, or there might be a little bit of salt in it. But it's just something you use. It's almost like a big cornbread cracker. They'll use it to sop up drippings and fucking, you know what I mean? They'll have like fucking, what do they call it? Fucking greens, collard greens, and fucking pot liquor and shit. They fucking use it like that. It's coarse, kind of dry bread. Very dry bread, actually. Crumbly. The outside of it's very crispy because it's been baked in a cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
So it's real crispy on the outside of it. It's good, but it's not like the real Southern cornbread is not like even the cornbread your average Southerner and eats around here in a suburban area.
Well, hell,
not anymore.
You go to Boston Market, for example. Yeah. And they have cornbread there. They have little pieces of cornbread, and you can get that as a side. And it's good, but it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's not cornbread.
Whereas, like, cornbread, like I said, is very, very dense, and it's very thin. It's only about that high.
About an inch high, yeah.
It needs a shit ton of butter, though.
And it's dry.
I'm not going to lie.
And when you chew it, it pops and crackles. It's real gritty. Yeah.
And Camp Guy said, my old man would eat cornbread soaked in buttermilk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to, like, soak it in something.
Yeah.
Just eating it plain, you could eat it plain, but why would you? Like, you know.
Old school Southerners loved that, though. They liked that
Or they
texture.
pretended to.
I think they did like it. My dad didn't like it. He didn't call that other stuff cornbread. I mean, he'd eat it, the other stuff, but he says that's not cornbread. They wanted that real dry, crunchy thing with snap and pops like there's sand.
Well,
like
and
you're chewing sand.
I kind of feel like too, you would always like eat it with other things that you would like dip it in the gravy
they were dipping
and stuff, right? So it wasn't like you were just eating it like by itself or nothing.
It was meant to absorb pot liquor.
Yeah.
And fucking drippings, which people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
Well, it's
a long story.
It's kind of the same function as like a Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah.
Would be where which Yorkshire puddings are really, or they're more like, did I want to say they're more like popovers, but they're not sweet, they're savory. But you dip them in the beef gravy, you know what I mean? Because you have it with like your roast beef and everything like that. So you would dip it in that. So it's kind of a similar thing. Like cornbread is something that you would generally like dip in meat gravy.
Or well, most of the time I saw them dipping them into fucking greens.
Yeah, that too.
Collard greens.
Yeah.
Which had drippings in there, which is like you'd had cooked collard greens, which is kind of like the tops of turnips, I believe. And there was like that was cooked in bacon, so there was kind of like a bacony, oily broth with that. And they're soaking that broth up, cornbread, and eating greens. And there might be a little bit of onions in the greens.
Yeah.
They just call them greens.
Well, turnip greens, collard greens.
Turnip greens, collard
they're all in
greens.
the same family.
Yeah.
And they all taste kind of similar.
Yeah. There's stuff that you could grow out in your backyard. Because Mississippi and Alabama, parts of Louisiana and fucking Tennessee, it was subsistence farming. That's where Elvis came from. He was also every house had about an acre of land behind it. They had a farm where they were growing food. Southerners were poor, but they were never hungry. They had lots of food, and it was good living. No pollution or anything, fresh water, wells. It was just good country. It was like, good country living. And they had a lot of food, and they would trade. It grew butter beans. When I was a little kid, I remember old ladies just sitting around picking butter beans.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember all that picking butter beans things? And they're sitting there and
I remember shucking beans when I was a kid.
Yeah. And butter beans were fucking delicious.
Over a bowl.
Yeah.
I remember doing that.
Butter beans are little green beans. You could cook them and they were soft as butter. I think that's what they were talking about.
It's weird. I wasn't a really big bean fan when I was growing up. I liked them later on because Tammy was saying black-eyed peas or pinto beans.
Black-eyed peas.
I'm going to go pinto beans. Although I'm going to say, like, black-eyed peas, I always hated black-eyed peas growing up. Because my grandmother made them all the time, and I was just kind of like, she'd always put, like, the ham hock in there and all that. And I was just kind of like,
rice.
Yeah, I didn't really like them, but I don't like a lot of things. I kind of developed a taste for them later on. You made a black-eyed pea curry one time that was amazing. It was, like, out of this fucking world.
I'm going to tell you guys something. When the U.S. Army went to Iraq on the second mission that they went there, they took black-eyed peas with them. And Iraqis loved black-eyed peas. And evidently, black-eyed peas became an Iraqi favorite. You could evidently go to Iraq and still find black-eyed peas now. And the reason why the Army had black-eyed peas is in the U.S. Army in general is Southerners. That's who's recruiting. Militaries, which is the language the U.S. Army speaks. It's a bunch of acronyms and shit. Everything is delivered in a Southern accent. The old fucking menus when you went to fucking the chow hall to get fed is all Southern food. All right. The U.S. Army was Southern, which seems to be upsetting people because a lot of the fucking Army forts were named after Confederate generals. It's because it's all in the South, and the recruits all came from the South. And the Confederate generals and the Union generals all went to the same military academies. It didn't really matter. It was Americans fighting Americans. So I don't think there's any reason to fucking, Lee and all those guys, they were good dudes. They were just as good as the guys in the North. They weren't fighting to defend slavery. They were fighting to defend the South. You had black people in the fucking Confederate Army. After Sherman fucking burned down Atlanta. There's a lot of shit that they don't teach you about the war between Americans, But what are you doing? What's this?
Nothing.
Okay. But it's funny that the fucking U.S. Army goes to Iraq and takes fucking black-eyed peas to Iraq, and Iraqis like them. It's funny. I wonder if you can still get them there.
I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. If anybody's in Iraq, tell me if you can get black-eyed peas there. Evidently, the Iraqis loved them. They're a good pea. It's a bean, really. But
yeah, it's not a pea.
It's not a pea. Yeah, it's a bean. It's a little, for you foreigners, it's a little beige bean with a black circle on it. And it looks like it's got a little black eye on it. And they're fucking really good.
For some reason, and this is probably a Southern thing, but I feel like black-eyed peas, because my grandmother would make them every New Year's. It was a New Year's thing. That was what you're supposed to make ham and black-eyed peas.
Yeah, ham and black-eyed peas.
And greens.
Yeah.
That was your New Year's thing.
Man, my grandmother...
She made that every fucking year.
My grandmother and my dad fucking made that all the time. Black-eyed peas.
She made it other times too, but like New Year's, you had to make it.
Black-eyed peas were a couple times a week in that house.
Yeah. Like I said, she made it all the time, but that was kind of like... Okay. That New Year's, that was like you had to have ham and black-eyed peas.
I got a shit ton of dried black-eyed peas. And you're making me want to bust them out.
Well, like I said, the best thing you ever made with black-eyed peas was that curry.
The curry?
That curry that you made.
I don't remember exactly what I did with it.
Because remember we had that big party.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of vegetarians and vegans that were coming. And we were doing a whole Indian food spread. So some people were bringing stuff. And we knew that some people there, like vegan black metal chef was coming. So we knew that some people there were like vegan, but we knew some people were vegetarians. So we wanted to make Indian food is really good because you can make a lot of it at one time. That's one. And two, it's easy to make vegetarian because a lot of the dishes are vegetarian or work with meat or without it. And it keeps for a long time. And matter of fact, a lot of Indian food gets better. Like, you make it and then it's good that day, but then like the second or third day, it's like phenomenal.
Fourth sometimes.
Right. And it's like, so it's really good as like leftovers. Yeah. So you can make it ahead and then like by the time, the party comes, like it'll be like at peak deliciousness.
What are people talking about there? Is there somebody they're wishing me happy birthday?
Yeah, I was going to say, Oracle says hippo birdie to you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Oracle.
Kevin Smith also says happy birthday to you. Yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow. It's his birthday tomorrow, everybody. Yeah. So you made butter chicken for the carnivores.
Yeah.
Because that was, I think Dimitri asked you, he was like, please make the butter chicken. Because you make like the world's best butter chicken. It's like, seriously.
Well, I used the shan mixed for that one. Fucking. So
but you experiment with different mixes too. I mean, that shan mix is the best one.
My favorite is a Pakistani fucking butter chicken mix called made by Shan.
Yeah, I just in the yellow box. Yeah, it's yellow, right? The box.
I like the Indian mix too, made by fucking National. That's pretty good, but I just like Shan.
Shan's the best one.
Yeah,
the National one's okay too. That's like the pale blue box, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you go to like the Asian market, they have like a million different like pre-mixed spice mixes for whatever dish you want to make. And we've tried like all the different brands. But to be honest, like for butter chicken, Shan is the best one.
I like Shan, yeah.
Because it's like we've had some that were like that I thought were too spicy because butter chicken is not it's supposed to have like a little bit of kick, but not much. It's supposed to be like fairly mild. And we've had some, and I don't remember if it was National, if it was some other brand, but I remember us making one batch of butter chicken with like a different brand, and it was like real spicy.
Butter chicken is kind of like General Tso's chicken, rather fucking with Chinese food. no two dishes are the same.
They're not.
Okay.
Well, it came out of a restaurant.
Right. Originally, both of those recipes came out of a restaurant. I think General Tso's chicken came out of a casino in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And nobody knows the original recipe of either one of those.
No.
I think the original butter chicken recipe came out of the Taj. I think it was from the Taj.
I think, well, that's what Gordon said. Like, because if Gordon did that, like, mini-series where he was, like, going to all around India and, like...
Right. And he went to India and fucking went to the Taj and had the butter chicken. And then he tasted it and he was like, oh, okay. Because it's not spicy. No. So it's... When it comes to fucking butter chicken and fucking General Tso's chicken, which is every version you've had is a copy. They're trying to copy something that came from a chef in a fucking high-end restaurant, and he didn't release the recipe. So that means fucking it's going to be a lot of room for fucking evolution.
Yeah, everyone's just
they don't taste alike. You know?
No. Yeah, we've tried like lots of different butter chicken mixes, and every single one of them is different.
They're all different.
Like markedly different.
Yeah, they're different flavors.
Like it's all
kind of in the same.
It's all demonstrably the same dish.
Kind of same, right?
But there's variations that are like significant enough that you.
And I don't want to hurt any Indian feelings here, but when it comes to those fucking mixes, the Pakistani version, the Shan, which is Pakistan.
That's my favorite.
I like that one better than the Indian mixes.
I did too.
Although, you don't need the mixes. You can just do it on your own.
And it's just easier.
And I've just seen. Well, you can't get that Shan flavor though.
Yeah, that's
through the mix. So I've tried a lot of home recipes that came from India of how they do butter chicken, and they're all pretty good. They're all different. They're all good.
I mean, they're all
still like
delicious.
that fucking Shan.
They're all delicious.
It's kind of like the Big Mac. When you want a Big Mac, you want a Big Mac. There's something about that Shan version. You want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he makes butter chicken all the time. And like sometimes we use the Shan mix and sometimes we don't have it. So we use another mix or he just mixes his own. Because I bought him one of those... What do they call it? I know there's a word for it. But it's like this big round thing that it's like you put all the Indian spices in. Like they each have their own little cup. And they all have their own... And you can keep track of all your like spices and stuff. So I bought him one of those because we make a lot of Indian food. So sometimes he uses his own mixture. But like I said, I gotta say that Shan one is just... I don't know. There's something about that one that I really like. And I'm not really sure what it is. But... he made some butter chicken the other day. I don't think we had a Shan mix though, but I don't know what mix he used for, but that was pretty good also. But like I said, some of them are like spicier than others, and I kind of feel like butter chicken is not. It seems like it's supposed to have like a little bit of a kick, but it's not supposed to be really spicy. I think people have a misperception. People that don't eat any Indian food, like they think that all Indian food, just like they think all Thai food is like supposed to be super spicy, and it's not. A lot of Indian food is like actually pretty mild. And honestly, if you go to an Indian restaurant, they'll make it however you want them to make it. Because I don't like super spicy food either. I can't eat it. It like upsets my stomach. So, so whenever I go to like Memories of India or whatever, I always get mild or medium. I can't like Tom likes super, super spicy, but I can't eat it like that. It just... my digestive system does not want to deal with it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, so I can't really eat it. So I can't eat super spicy stuff. But yeah. Tammy said it's like spaghetti sauces. Each family has their own recipe. Yeah, and you could make spaghetti sauce 100 times. And I mean, Tom makes pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce like all the time. Yeah. Every time it's like slightly
it's
different.
A little bit different, yeah.
It's slightly different.
Well, I'm not measuring.
Yeah.
I'm doing it by eye.
Well, I think that's probably why.
Yeah. And then I'm finishing it and I'm going, yeah, it's good. Just got to make sure that the damn salt to sugar ratio is correct.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
And you mainly just do it by taste.
Yeah.
And it's like, that might change from day to day. It's like, some taste. I tend to like tomato sauce is a little bit sweeter because if it's like a little bit too bitter, like I said, it gives me heartburn, but you know what I mean. Tammy said, the Hubs family does that for the New Year. I'm from Pennsylvania. We always had pork and sauerkraut for New Year's.
Yeah, that sounds German.
I've heard of that. Yeah, that's very German.
Real
That's
German.
very German.
Yeah.
But like I said, for whatever reason, every time it was New Year's, my grandmother would insist. She's like, she would make a ham, like a honeyed ham, and black-eyed peas and greens.
We have that in the South, though, too.
And cornbread.
We have that in the South, though, too. With pork chops and sauerkraut with mustard and potatoes. We eat that. Just it wasn't real common.
I never had sauerkraut growing up.
You didn't have it? Oh, we had it.
Sauerkraut. Now, my grandmother would make, but she made pork chops all the time, probably at least once a week, maybe twice. But she would usually have pork chops with potatoes and mac and cheese. Yeah, is what they would usually have, and green beans. That's what that would usually go together with.
We still got a pretty good crowd out there. If you guys can go ahead and hit the like button for us, that'd help us out.
And then Oracle said chili is always different. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
So it's like everybody has their own thing.
I made a lot of different kinds of chili, but I've kind of fucking settled on the fact that chili's not supposed to have any beans in it. You know that, Jen? Remember every time when I started
isn't there a big debate in Texas?
Chili's not supposed to have any damn beans.
Because isn't Texas chili is like not supposed to have beans in
it?
No beans. Because they're like, well, that's not real chili if it has beans in it.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a big controversy.
I've come to the conclusion that, it's not supposed to have beans
I mean, you can put... Well, shit, man.
It's better without.
My grandmother made chili and she put spaghetti in there. So, you know.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. I've seen people pour chili over spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time she made chili, she put spaghetti in there. I wasn't a fan of that. Oracle said, speaking as a Texan, yes, we have opinions about chili. Yes, so I've heard. I'm not from Texas, but I do kind of try to keep up on food stuff. And yeah, Texans are very polarized about their chili opinions. Beans or no beans. But yeah, like you said, well, we've talked about this before. I kind of feel like every country's cuisine has an equivalent of chili.
Yeah, well, chili is curry.
I mean, essentially.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much the same. Same method, same idea.
And it has a lot of similar spices in it.
Yeah.
That curry has.
I've always heard that chili was Indian. And I always thought they were talking about American Indian. They may be talking about India Indians. Maybe.
Well, it does have a lot of the same shit in it.
It's got a lot of the same shit in it.
Right.
It's the same method.
It's got chili powder. It's got cumin.
Right.
It's got all that kind of stuff. So cinnamon sometimes.
What's somebody talking about? They found a channel.
Where are you seeing this?
I
found this channel from searching for Giallo content.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh, where? What channel are you talking about?
This channel.
Channel. Watching a decent Giallo, my dear killer, and listening to y'all good times. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Man, I love Giallo movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. It's just it's my thing. Speaking of movies, and I'm not gonna like spoil too much about it because we're gonna talk about this on Sunday. But last night, I finally got to see the new Brandon Cronenberg movie, Infinity Pool.
It was good. It's pretty good.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I know that like opinions, like it seemed like most of the I kind of did a sort of like cursory glance over the reviews today, and it does seem like mostly it got positive reviews. I think this is his best movie so far. I know he's only made 3 movies, okay? And if you don't know, the first one was called Antiviral, and that came out in 2012, which is also good. And if you haven't seen that, I recommend that. Second one, which was kind of like his big one that everybody heard about, was Possessor, which is also great. This one, I don't know. I was really into this one. And I was thinking about it all day today.
He does come up with some weird ideas. He's very much like his dad.
It's messed up. But he's like his dad,
but he's not copying.
But he's also got his own thing going on.
Yeah, he's got his own thing.
Like, they're exploring similar themes, but, like, in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm into it. I was really into this movie. It's on, if you have Hulu, it's on Hulu. They just put it on Hulu. So, and I think Possessor is on there, too. So, I don't know about Antiviral. I don't know where that is. I watched it, like, a year ago or so. But, yeah, like, Brandon Cronenberg, he's killing it. Killing it. But, yeah, we'll talk about it Sunday. But I really, really liked Infinity Pool. I have seen some people being like, what... The reason I wanted to watch it, well, I wanted to watch it because it's Brandon Cronenberg. And I'd seen his other movies, and I was just like...
So I'm in the theater.
Yeah, we saw Crimes of the Future. That was David Cronenberg.
Oh, it's a different one?
That was... Yeah, that was...
He's got two sons?
No.
Okay.
That was the dad.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Crimes of the Future was David Cronenberg.
That's right.
We saw that in the theater.
I thought it was the son. Okay.
We saw Possessor.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
Okay, yeah.
Like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
And then Antiviral, which is his first movie, which came out in 2012. I don't think you saw it, but I watched it. Yeah. And it was really, I might have seen that.
Well, Cronenberg's senior movie was good.
Yeah. This might be controversial. I liked this one better.
It's different. I think they're both good.
They're both good.
They're both good, yeah.
But I really got into this.
You had a good idea.
Everything about this one, I was like into it. I was into the score. I was into like the concept. And I told him after, I was like, man, I wish I had thought of this fucking idea.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, see it. If you can. That was on HBO?
No, it's Hulu.
Hulu? Okay.
It's Hulu.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I did see some like
it's creepy
opinions. Like, and most of that, I loved this. This is one of the reasons I wanted to see it, other than it just being Brandon Cronenberg, was that all of the horror channels that I subscribe to, you can see like on the thumbnails, they were all just like, what the fuck did I just watch? And I'm like, oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah. Although it was easy to understand.
Well, I'm jaded. I've seen some weird shit. This isn't the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It's weird, but it's not the weirdest thing
It's a good idea.
It's actually a great concept. And honestly, it's not... Here's the thing. I kind of feel like some people are just kind of like, oh, like, it's like they didn't know what was going on. To me, it seemed like very straightforward. It was a very straightforward
I wouldn't even pay close attention to it, and I could understand what was going on.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, he was just, like, talking to people on his tablet and stuff like that. And he's still like, a couple times, he's like, wait, what is happening? And, like, I explain it. He's like, oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. But it's, like, it's not a difficult concept to understand. Not at all.
I'll give you a little hint. Some people are going on a vacation in a fictional country. They named the country, but this country doesn't exist. And it's kind of a backwards country, but it has real good nightlife and a good fucking resorts. Part of their laws are, if you kill somebody, even accidentally, the family of the person who got killed has the right to take revenge out on you. So if the cops get you, they'll hand you over to that family. All right? And that family will try to kill you. You can also...
Well, no, they will kill you.
They will kill you, yeah. They'll tie you up, fucking stab you to death or whatever. Now, you have an option to be executed, I think, before, don't you? Didn't they say, would you rather be executed? I thought they gave you... Didn't they give you an out? Okay, I guess not.
No. The out was...
Yeah.
Well, we're spoiling it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like
everybody... No, don't say it. Well... Some guy goes on vacation there, and fucking he's a writer, and he hooks him and his girlfriend. He's got
his wife, yeah.
His wife, yeah. He's got a fucking badass little light skinned wife
who's really, really rich.
Yeah, real rich, and she's supporting his career.
Yeah.
And she runs into this other couple, and the other couple's got this hot ass blonde who's
just Mia Goth, you guys.
Yeah,
from X and
trying
Pearl.
to fuck him and trying to do.
I still need to see Pearl, by the way.
And the husband's in on it. You know, they're swingers, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, fuck, whatever. He didn't give a shit. Well, this dude accidentally kills somebody. They got drunk and shit. Fucking they were riding around in a fucking car, big old fucking Cadillac, old fashioned Cadillac. And fucking ran over the dude out in the middle of the country who just ran out in front of the car. And they ran from the scene, but they somehow figured out who it was that hit the dude. It was a dude, and they grabbed the rider.
Well, they knew who it was because of the car. Because they had rented it from somebody at the resort.
That's right. She remembers all the details.
Yeah. I'm drunk, but I still remember shit.
So he's being accused of murder, and they're gonna fucking give him over to this other family. But there's a way out, and the way out is fucking bizarre.
What a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
I was just so into the concept of this.
And then they start getting off on the way out. Once they realize that there's a way out of committing crimes, they just commit more and more crimes.
Well, the thing about it is, like, there's kind of like, I don't know, maybe we should save it for Sunday, because it's just like, we're going to talk about it on Sunday. But Subjective Perspective says, Infinity Pool was great. I still need to see the uncut version. Yeah, there is an uncut version that has, like, some cum shots in it and stuff. This one is pretty explicit, but there is, I think the version that's on Hulu is the R-rated version, and there is an NC-17 version. That has, like, close-ups of dicks, blowing their loads and whatnot.
Yeah, he must be talking about when the dude is taking a leak and she comes up behind him and starts jerking him off.
Well, I think there was because there was that big sequence, too, where he was, like, hallucinating, like, on that drug, and there was all that weird, like, orgy shit going on.
Yeah.
So I think there was more in that area too, but I think they cut some of it out to get an R.
American couple and a fucking European couple in this weird ass fictional country resort. One of the European couple's a bunch of swingers, and fucking they accidentally killed a dude. It's weird shit happens, and it gets weirder.
It's kind of like, in a way, like we're gonna talk about it on Sunday, but it's like it's better if you go into it because I didn't really know.
They're not knowing how weird it is.
I saw the trailer like a long time ago. So I was like, man, that looks fucked up. I'm into that. But I didn't know exactly what the plot was. I didn't look anything up beforehand. I was like, no, I just want to watch that. So like last night, I got home from work. I'm like, I'm watching this shit tonight. I got my snacks. I got my drink. I said I got all snuggled up into bed and all comfortable. And I said I'm gonna watch this fucking movie. And it's like I got really into it. I was really into it.
I thought it was good. I want to see it again. I want to see the other Cronenberg movie again though too.
Which, Crimes of the Future?
Yeah, Crimes of the Future.
That is also on Hulu.
I want to see it also.
That's also on Hulu.
Because I only saw it once, and you know how it is with the Cronenberg movie. You got to see them a couple times before you fucking pick everything up.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of like the whole...
Because I remember I was watching his shit going back to The Brood when I was a little kid.
Man, I love David
watching
Cronenberg.
The Brood and Videodrome.
He's probably like my... Well, I don't know. I was gonna say my second favorite, but shit. Well, I mean, David Lynch is my first favorite. Like, that's always going to happen.
Brood
but it
scared me as a kid,
But the thing about it is, like, David Cronenberg and John Carpenter, I can't decide.
Carpenter...
But they're different.
They're
so
very
it's
different.
like
Yeah.
really hard to compare them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Carpenter made all the movies that had his name on them. I'm not sure.
Well, and the thing about Carpenter too was that he made like some absolute masterpieces, like early, but then like yeah.
Stuff.
Whereas Cronenberg, all of his movies,
yeah, they're all the same.
Have
they're
been
all good quality.
Have been worth watching.
Yeah,
have been worth watching.
All of Cronenberg's movies are good, right? Are good quality, and his son's movies, from what I've seen, are just as good.
Like I said, this was Infinity Pool was his third one. You would probably like Antiviral. That was his first one.
Okay.
And I really liked that a lot. That came out in 2012. I don't remember where I watched it. It was probably on Hulu too, but that was like a year or two ago that I watched that. And we watched Possessor. I think we reviewed it on here somewhere. And I really liked that too. But yeah, he's exploring the same themes as his dad, but he's not really like copying his dad.
Yeah.
Not really.
No, he's just kind of continuing a tradition, but he's doing
it's the
his
same
own
wheelhouse, but he's got like his own thing going on.
Right. It's not like the kind of situation where you have fucking a singer and then the singer dies and then the child of the singer starts a music career. It's not like that.
Right.
It's not like that.
Yeah, it's not. It's maybe it's nepotism, but I mean that's unavoidable. But at least he's got his own vision. Like I said, it's in the same wheelhouse, but
he's taking that same spirit that his dad was doing and going like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that, but I'm gonna do it a little bit my own way. But you'll see. If you like that, if you like my dad's work, you'll like my work too. You will.
Somebody said, I saw this in a review, and I thought this was
Cronenberg. It is Cronenberg.
Somebody said this in a review, and I thought this was like a really good, succinct, kind of distillation of what the difference between them was. They're like, whereas David Cronenberg, his fascination is with bodily disintegration or with the way that your insides are like mirrored on your outsides, like by your body mutating or whatever. Whereas like Brandon Cronenberg is more worried about his kind of thematic thing is more like the corruption of your soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, well, he does body horror too, and like this movie, Infinity Pool has some like pretty gruesome.
But he's gonna do soul.
It's very
horror.
violent.
I got you. Yeah, it is
but,
soul.
Yeah, but it's
soul
more.
and
It's
your
more
morality.
about the disintegration of your soul or your morality.
Yeah,
is more about.
Yeah, I see it. But what's funny is
and his other movies were like that too.
When we saw Crimes of the Future, we saw that in the theater.
Yeah, which is David Cronenberg.
Yeah, David Cronenberg. And there was only one other person in the theater watching it, and it was a guy about my age, and he was sitting in front of us, remember? And he was a big guy, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe a 6'2", 6'3", kind of fucking heavy set guy. And after that fucking movie, he stood up, and he looked at us, like, what the fuck was that?
Which is hilarious, because it's like,
what the
compared to other Cronenberg movies, I thought it was like pretty, it was weird, but it wasn't
But
like,
he knew who Cronenberg was. This is fucking Cronenberg. He goes, yeah.
I guess.
He goes, what the fuck is he talking about? But no, it was good, man. Crimes of the Future was good.
I really liked Crimes of the Future.
Cronenberg Sr. was never fucking, he was never fucking tied down to things like reality or plausibility. It was just
I feel like something to
crazy
like
shit.
David Cronenberg. Maybe this is another difference. David Cronenberg. I always felt like some of his stuff was slightly satirical in the sense that he had like a black humor. Like you could tell that David Cronenberg was getting a lot of pleasure out of the shit that he was putting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was always like a black comedy element to it, which was, I mean, sometimes it was subtle, but it was like always there. Whereas Brandon Cronenberg, I don't want to say there's no black humor because there is, but it's not as overt or it's not as detectable as David Cronenberg.
Subjective has been saying a lot of stuff. Go ahead and read what he said.
Yeah. He says, I left the theater after Infinity Pool and didn't know how to feel about it until the next day after I processed. I love it. Yeah, honestly, I watched it last night and I was like, man, I'm fucking into this movie. I was into everything about it. I was into the visuals of the. I love the fucking score. I can't. And I looked up the guy that did it, but I can't remember his name right now because I'm too drunk. But everything about it, I was just like, man, I'm super into this. And then like I was thinking about it like all day today. I'm like, man, what a fucking. That was a great fucking movie. It was a great fucking movie. And then like I was reading like some other people's takes on it and shit like that, and I'm just like, man, I just love this movie even more nowadays, and now I want to see it like again. You know what I mean? John Robertson said, I finally saw The Haunted Palace with Vincent Price, which I think I reviewed not too long ago. I love Vincent Price. I love it. Vincent Price playing a warlock just does something for me. He was, I mean, as great as he was playing good guys, I think there was something special about Vincent Price playing a villain because you knew he was like such a nice dude in real life.
I gotta see Dr. Phibes too.
Yeah, we got to see that. That's another one we need to review.
Okay.
Let's see. Who is y'all's favorite Italian director? I mean, I think it's like pretty obvious to say Dario Argento, but I'm gonna say like I love Dario Argento. Other than his more recent stuff, I'm into Dario Argento up until about the Stendhal Syndrome. I liked the Stendhal Syndrome, which was what, 96. After that, not so much. I did a review of Dark Glasses, which was like the newest one. And, you know, Dario's in his 80s now. So the fact that he's still making movies. And Dark Glasses was okay. It was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. It was better than it was better than The Card Player, that's for sure. And it was better than that Abomination known as Dracula 3D, so you know what I mean. But I'm going to say Sergio Martino.
I'm going to say...
That's who I'm going to say.
And I'm going to say...
Or Lucio Fulci.
And I'm going to say Sergio Leone. I fucking love the Man with No Name fucking trilogy. With Clint Eastwood, Fistful of Dollars and all that. One of the best westerns of all time. That changed the fucking western game. And made Clint Eastwood those three movies. Well, you could say fucking Hang 'em High also made him, but you know what I mean? Fucking, no, I'd say Sergio Leone. And one of the best things about Sergio was the scores that he selected. Every fucking movie he made, the score made the movie sound important. The only one that I haven't seen yet, if anybody wants to review it, send it to me. I want to see Fistful of Dynamite. I remember seeing the trailer when I was a kid, but I never saw it. But no, Sergio Leone, I'd say. But like I said, that's not horror. That's Western.
But still.
Yeah, but he was great. He was great. He brought a post-apocalyptic flavor to the Old West. And that's more accurate to the way the West was in a certain way.
Well, I was going to say the weird thing about him being an Italian director was that he almost got the American West more than filmmakers in America did.
Well, one of the things that he got so great was how Mexican the Old West was. Because, you know, there's kind of a fucking... The borders were kind of blurred because, you know, after the Mexican-American War, the United States annexed a lot of what used to be Mexico. But the Mexicans didn't leave. They stayed there. And they kept coming across. And there wasn't a big difference between the Old West and Mexico and Mexicans and Americans. They were all cowboys and bandidos and fucking, you know, vaqueros. And and Sergio fucking captured that. And there were Indians going along that at the same time. And it was like after an apocalypse, after the Mexican apocalypse, because the Mexican government was now gone. That was the end of that era. Now the American era was beginning, but it was weak, so it was like happening in a Mad Max type era or place, and that's pretty accurate.
Subjective Perspective says, mine is Mario Bava. Also a very good pick, and I can't believe I didn't think of that. Because Mario Bava not only did some great fucking anthology films, also arguably, I don't even know if this is arguably, the first slasher movie, Bay of Blood, aka Twitch of the Death Nerve, which I actually like that title better, so I usually use that better. I even have a Bay of Blood little poster back there. I don't know if you can see it. It's back there. It's the Italian title. But I would argue, like a lot of people say Black Christmas, first slasher, which like I said, I'm not going to argue with you too hard, but I would argue that Bay of Blood is probably the first slasher, because even though it's not exactly like a slasher in the sense that there's like one person going around killing a lot of people, spoiler alert, like pretty much everyone's a killer, but it has like a lot of the tropes that the slasher movies would pick up on later on, like the POV shots and like the promiscuous people getting killed off first and all that kind of stuff. So all the stuff that you would recognize from like a later slasher is in that, and that came out in what, 69, 71, something like that, like several years before Black Christmas, so you know what I mean. But yeah, and he also made a very good, one of the first Giallo films also, which Dario Argento was very inspired by. So, you know. Yeah, Bay of Blood to me is first. Yeah, I'm going to say, like, because some people will go back and say, like, well, Psycho was the first slasher. Psycho's a great film. It's a classic. But it's not really a slasher. If you're going to go back that far to 1960, I would argue that Peeping Tom, which also came out in 1960, was a British film, is closer to a slasher than modern slashers. But if you're talking about modern slashers, then Bay of Blood was the first one. Bay of Blood was the first one. Now, maybe like Black Christmas, you know, is maybe more known, but I kind of feel like Bay of Blood was technically the first slasher. What would be a unique way to do a slasher if you had to reinvent the wheel? Man, that's the thing. I feel like everything's been done. It's just kind of like they've done every possible. They've gone into space. They've gone into like they've gone meta, like Cabin in the Woods, you know, where everything was like a simulation. They've done that. They've gone the horror comedy route. They've gone, I don't know. It's like, and it's maybe just because my imagination is limited, but I can't really think of anything else they could crossbreed that with. And I'm going to say that it's like slashers. I love slashers. I'm not saying that, but it's like, it's never been my favorite horror subgenre. You know what I mean? My favorite horror subgenre would probably be either like haunted house movies. I love haunted house movies, or Giallo movies, which are actually more like mysteries than horror, but you know what I mean, whatever. It's academic at this point. But I kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, the stuff that I've enjoyed lately, as far as slasher media goes, not so much movies, but I've read a couple of books lately that were kind of like slashers that were kind of like, that tickled my funny bone. I really liked Grady Hendrix's book, The Final Girl Support Group, which was kind of like a slasher, but also like a deconstruction of slashers, but it was also like a good story in its own right. So I liked that. It was like an examination of like the final girl trope. So I liked that. And then there was also one, who wrote this fucking shit? I would think it was a British dude again. Adam Millard, I think was his name. And he wrote, like, it's actually a trilogy, but I've only read the first one. And he did a series called, the first one was called Larry. And it was a classic slasher, but it was like funny. You know what I mean? Like, it was a parody of a slasher, but also like a slasher in its own right. And it was about this guy who was a slasher villain, but he was like old now. You know what I mean? And he's like wearing a pig mask, and he'd go around like at a fucking summer camp, like killing people. But it's like, it's harder for him now because it's like, he's like 65 and he has like arthritis and shit like that. So it's like, it's just really funny. If you haven't read it, like I said, I don't know if the other two were funny, but the first one was like legitimately made me laugh my ass off. It was like great. What?
All right, well, it's 10. We've been fucking streaming for a long time. You want to continue going, or do you want to...
I don't know. We might have one more. It's like, it's Friday night. We're not going anywhere, right?
Okay. Yeah,
you
want
all
me to
right?
get a drink? Yeah. Oh, I'm fucking loaded.
That's all right. Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that people agree with me that Bay of Blood is the first slasher. Because, you know, I'm not going to get all, like, upset about it, but I'm just saying. I just kind of feel like that's the first one. Well, I'm kind of fascinated by the whole push-pull, the whole give and take between the American film industry and the Italian film industry, because I kind of feel like the Italian film industry, not so much nowadays, but back in the day, they kind of got like there was probably a reason that a lot of people thought this, but I kind of feel like they had the reputation for just doing like rip-offs of popular American movies. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Jaws came out in 1975, so then they had to like do all these Italian knockoffs, like The Last Shark, or what was that one that I saw in Mystery Science Theater? The Devilfish. You know what I mean? That was not really a shark, but it was kind of like a shark octopus hybrid, or like a prehistoric shark or something with tentacles. It was a whole thing. So they kind of tended to do rip-offs, but the thing about it was that there was a lot of like give and take between the two cultures. You know what I mean? Like they were inspired by, like, yeah, a lot of the Giallo films were inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, or I'm gonna say, but the thing is, both of them, both Alfred Hitchcock and the Italian Giallo films, were actually both influenced by earlier like British mysteries like Edgar Wallace and stuff like that. In fact, some of the stuff was based on Edgar Wallace's books. So I don't know, I think they were both like drawing from the same well, and they were both kind of like you know, influenced by each other. And the thing about it was John Carpenter was like really into like Italian movies, which is where one of the reasons where he got the idea for like Halloween, of like doing slashers and stuff like that, was from Italian movies, like from Giallo movies. That was where the whole idea for the slasher came from, I feel like, was from Giallo movies. Thank you. Yeah, Subjective says, the Italian style and vibe can't be matched. Yeah, they have their own unique thing, man.
They have a panache.
It's just something
There may not be a lot of substance to it. Their dialogue.
I never ever get tired of Giallo movies. Yeah. I've seen good ones, I've seen bad ones, I've seen modern ones, because now there's been like kind of like, I wouldn't call it a trend, but it's like a mini trend where like some horror filmmakers now are like making modern versions of them, or making modern movies that are inspired by Giallo, which I'm into. So I've seen a couple like that. Like I've reviewed some over on my other channel. There was one called Francesca that was actually made, I think it was by Argentinian filmmakers, if I'm not mistaken. But they wanted to make, I think it came out in 2015, and they wanted to make something that looked like a lost Giallo film from the 70s, and they succeeded pretty well in that. There's also been some kind of like more surreal ones. That was one called The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which was fairly recent. I think it came out like in the last decade or so. Pretty inscrutable, gotta say. I liked it, but I'd be lying if I said I had any fucking idea what was going on in that shit, because it was like pretty surreal, but the imagery was like pretty cool and everything. The thing about it is like a lot of Giallo movies are, I'm gonna say that like plot is not the most important thing.
Style.
But a lot of them do have plots that you can kind of follow. Like some of them don't entirely make sense. They're like, well, we just put this in there because we thought it looked cool, which, you know, fair enough. But most of the time, like, the plots do make sense. Like, you could tell somebody what the plot was, and they'd be like, okay, I get that.
Victor Garcia is in there saying that we didn't cross the border crossed us. He's talking about the time when I was talking about Sergio Leone capturing the Mexican-American War era, where fucking we annexed a bunch of the fucking continent. A lot of Mexicans just stayed where they were, and they ended up being Americans that way. So I think it is funny, but that's just the way history works, you know.
Zach says, what's the best written Giallo you've seen? Okay. I'm into, as far as like screenplays go, like I said, I like a lot of Dario Argento's earlier Giallos, like, or Gialli if you want to be technical about it, like Profondo Rosso. But one of my favorite ones, which doesn't get brought up a lot, is The Psychic or Murder to the Tune of Seven Black Notes, which is a Lucio Fulci movie. Dardano Sacchetti wrote it. He wrote a lot of Lucio Fulci's other films, like The House by the Cemetery and stuff like that. They work together a lot. But I was really into something about that movie, and I feel like I said, nobody talks about it really. Even when they're talking about Lucio Fulci movies, because everybody's like all into his like gore films, which is fair enough. I like his gore films too. But to be honest, he made some Giallo movies, like Lizard in a Woman's Skin and stuff like that, which was okay. I didn't love that one, but it was pretty good. But The Psychic, for some reason, I'm really, really into that movie. I really like the conceit that at the beginning of the movie, you have a psychic, obviously, who has a vision, and it's all like these disjointed, like weird, unsettling images. And I really liked that the movie then played out in a way that, like, you got to see each of these disjointed images, but, like, in context as the movie went on. But, like, it was always, like, a surprising context. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't expecting it to go the ways that it went, or at least I wasn't. So I really liked the way that was constructed. Like, I was really into that. I was going to say, too, what was another one that I really liked? Oh, House with Laughing Windows. That's Pupi Avati. He was the director. I don't remember who the screenwriter was on that. But I'm really into that one, too. That's, like, a really good Giallo to see if you haven't seen it. It's kind of, like, a little bit... It's not as, what am I going to say? Like, splashy? It has some gore in it, but it's usually toward the end. You know, it's toward the end. But it's just... So it's kind of like a slow burn. But I was, like, really into it. It was, like, really atmospheric.
Subjective, collective perspective, man. You've been blowing the chat up, but fuck, we appreciate it. You got a lot of good comments.
That's okay, man. I will talk about horror movies.
Yeah, you must be. Are you a new listener, or it's the first time you've actually talked in the chat? But it's good to have you aboard. I don't know if you're new or not.
I think I've seen that name before.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Oh, and they said, this is also a great one. Your vice is a locked room, and only I have the key. That's my favorite of all time. That is also a great one. I'm really into, like, I think I reviewed that not too long ago. Did I not? I'm pretty sure I reviewed that. Because I went on a whole stint where I think I did a whole month where I just, like, reviewed Giallo movies. It was Giallo July, like, last year. So I did a bunch of those. And I did some kind of more minor ones. Like, I did Sergio Martino's The Suspicious Death of a Minor, which... I'm going to say that's not a straight-up Giallo. It has Giallo elements, but it's more like a police procedural, which, you know... and it had, like, some weird, goofy, like, comedy in it, which I thought was kind of strange. I'm kind of into... I like the ones that kind of do something a little bit different with it, too. Like, I really liked All the Colors of the Dark, which was... kind of like a Giallo movie, but was also kind of like Rosemary's Baby, and also like kind of had some like weird like surreal satanic shit going on. Like I was really into that too, because it was kind of doing something different with the form, and I thought that was kind of neat. But
yeah. Collective says, yeah, he's reasonably new. Okay, man, it's good to have you aboard. Where are you from, man? Are you American?
Zach says, I suggest a movie called Julia and Julia. It's a Giallo starring Kathleen Turner, Gabriel Byrne, and Sting, and was the first movie shot on digital video. I think I've seen that, but it might have been a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
It might have been a long time
Sting,
ago.
you know, a surprise, you know, I talk shit about Sting trying to get people to climb up on his lingam and
Shreveport, Louisiana. That's where
okay, yeah, Louisiana. Yeah, Shreveport.
He lived in Louisiana for a while.
It's Louisiana, not Louisiana. Louisiana. Yeah, I lived there for a while. The what was I going to say about fucking Sting is actually a very good actor, very talented guy. Fuck with him. Yeah.
I'm into The Police too.
Yeah, and he's fucking.
I'm really into The Police.
Yeah, The Police is fucking fantastic.
I really like it.
That fucking Brimstone and Treacle was a fucking great movie that he made.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Brimstone and Treacle.
Yeah.
I mean, read the original play too, which is by Dennis Potter, who is a great fucking writer. He also wrote The Singing Detective and Pennies from Heaven, both of which are good. But Brimstone and Treacle is great. They made a couple versions of it, but we did a review of the Sting version, which I think came out in 1982. Because they did a version for British TV also.
Yeah, Collective. I lived in fucking right outside of Baton Rouge for a while. I lived fucking past Christiana, Mississippi. I got all kinds of cousins who are Cajun. I got Cajun cousins. Cute, too. I ain't gonna hook you up with them, though. They're all married, gone now. Fucking,
well, they didn't ask, so.
Yeah.
You're just
cute little Cajun cousins. And they lived over in fucking Slidell, right outside Slidell.
If you like Giallo films, I'm wondering how you felt about the movie The Editor, which came out in 2014, I want to say. It was on Shudder. I don't know if it is anymore. It was almost like a parody, but also like an homage to Giallo films, and I fucking loved it. Now, I don't know if you're not into Giallo movies, I don't know if you'll be into it or if you'll get it, but me and him watched it.
Which one?
The Editor.
Yeah.
Like a couple years back. And I just, oh my god, I fucking died
Which
laughing.
one was that?
It was like a parody of a Giallo movie. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was fucking great. It was so good. It was so good.
We saw that on...
It was on Shudder.
Shudder, yeah, it was good. Real good.
It might be on Tubi now. I haven't checked for a while.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was really into it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But like I said, if you're not into Giallo movies, I don't know if you'll think it's as cool or as funny as maybe I do.
A lot of the independent films that show up on Shudder and these little services are fucking really good. Had they come out back in the 80s, we would have loved them. A lot of it is just like spot on.
It's so hard to keep up, you know?
There's a lot of them.
I try, but it's hard.
There was one that fucking... This was years back. Me and Jen reviewed it, and I fucking loved it. And the director fucking thanked us for the review. Remember that one?
Which one was that?
It was the one where the people were getting possessed by some kind of a fucking thing, and it was... Man, I don't remember the name of it. That's not
really narrowing it down.
Fuck. It was all acting, no special effects. It was real cheap. But it was real good, and we gave it a really good review, and the director fucking thanked us. This is back when we were in Sanford.
Shit, now I'm gonna have to think.
Yeah.
I'm too drunk to come up with that.
Yeah, director thanked us personally.
That's so cool when that happens.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel so bad because holy shit, man, it's like, look, I love horror. I would watch horror 24/7 if I had nothing else to do, like if I didn't have to have a job and all that other kind of shit. But it's like, it's so hard because there's so many old movies that I haven't seen too. Like holy shit, like on my other channel, like on Scare Salon and shit like that, I was just writing about doing some 50s movies that I had never got around to, like Night of the Hunter and like Curse of the Demon, or Night of the Demon if you want to call it that, from 1957 I think that came out. So it's like I was trying to catch up on like some old shit that I should have seen and hadn't seen up until now, but it's like there's all this new shit coming out, and it's just like it's so hard to like keep track. Look, I just saw the new Brandon Cronenberg. I just saw Skinamarink. I just saw like all these new movies come out, and I just like want to see them, and I just can't keep up with all of it. And then, I wish I could.
Another one that comes to mind that was new. Well, I liked Turbo Kid. There's a French flick, and that bitch was.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
I love Turbo Kid. I fucking loved VFW, which was like a fake.
That was also great.
It was like a. It was like a
Carpenter movie.
flick.
It was like Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. And they're homaging Carpenter just in every way. And I want to see that one again. I liked that one. Over the years, some of them have stuck with me. Other ones I kind of forgot. But the one where the director fucking thanked us, that one I liked it. I still want to see that one again. I just can't remember what the fuck the name of that thing was. They got some kind of sickness, remember? And it would change their personality. And they'd kill somebody and it would flip. And it would switch from one person to the next.
Oh, shit, man. What the fuck was the name of that?
It was kind of like possession, jumping from one person to the next.
I know what you're talking about.
And there was no special effects in it, but the acting was good and the story was fucking really cool.
See, if you have that, you don't need special effects.
Yeah, they didn't need it was just the writing.
Honestly...
They'd kill one person, it would go into the next one. It was something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll probably remember it.
It had a good sense of humor. It was like an old. It was like an old Carpenter flick.
I'm trying to think of like the movies that I've seen recently.
It was a drug they were taking.
Oh, that's right.
Like a super crack.
Right. Oh shit.
Or a super meth.
Yeah. What was the name of that? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the name of that? I'll think of it like 20 minutes.
And it had a good humor and good horror.
If I don't think about it, then I'll think of it. Movies that I have seen lately that have made a big impression that I was really into. And a lot of them, like I said, if you like Giallo movies, like some of these are not Giallo movies exactly, but they're like kind of Giallo adjacent or they're inspired by Giallo movies. One of my favorite movies that I saw recently was In Fabric, which I guess is like polarizing because it's like one of those weird like arty movies, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I was super into it. I just like... It's not a Giallo movie, but it's very like Giallo inspired, like the visuals and stuff. And it's so weird. Like the elevator pitch for it would be like, oh, it's about a haunted dress, which sounds dumb as hell, but it's not like that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, see it. It's good. Also, another one I really liked recently was another one that's kind of Giallo inspired was Barbarian Sound Studio, if you haven't seen that one, which is actually about a guy who's doing like audio or like voiceovers for a Giallo movie, like back in the day, like back in, I can't remember what year it was set in, but it was set in like the late 60s or early 70s. And that's really good too. Like I said, very slow burn, very like auditory, and I was into that. Some other movies, maybe not so Giallo inspired, but kind of just made a big impression, were Censor. That's on Hulu, and that was about kind of the HoboNasty panic from the 1980s in the UK. And it was about like a woman that worked there, like at the BBFC. And that was really good. And then there was another one that's also on Hulu that was called Come True that I was really into. Like about, it was kind of about like a sleep study about like the same people having like the same nightmares, I guess. That's about all I want to say about that. And it's kind of like surreal, but I was like really into that too. That was like really good. So I always like recommend, like I said, I always hesitate to recommend horror movies because everybody has their own subjective tastes, and you know, stuff that like really resonates with me, I found that like doesn't necessarily resonate with other people. So I'm always just kind of like, oh my god, I love this movie so much, and then they see it and they're like, what the fuck is the wrong with you? You know what I mean? But those are just movies that I saw fairly recently that really like stuck with me. You know what I mean? Subjective perspective, Censor I dug. Oh, that's good. Also, I'm big into the HoboNasties. Yeah, me too. Like I said, I'm not British, but I was married to a British person for a long time, and I used to go back and forth to the UK from about the mid 90s to like the mid 2000s. And so I was like really into British culture. I was really into seeing all the HoboNasties, and I was fascinated by that whole era because I remember, you know, I'm old. You know, I grew up in the VHS era. I was born in 1972. So I remember all of that kind of furor about all of these movies being banned in the UK, or people getting arrested for having copies of The Driller Killer and all this other kind of stuff.
I was here, so I didn't even know about it.
Well, I was here too, but I did know about it.
I didn't even know about it. Yeah.
Because I was fascinated. Well, I was fascinated by British stuff. Like back then, I was into British music. I was into British TV. So I was in all the like in the 80s. So I was kind of like, it's just crazy to me. And it's funny because I recently rewatched The Driller Killer, the Abel Ferrara movie, and that was kind of one of the ones. And honestly, like some people that were around back then, like said, "Oh, The Driller Killer was the thing that kind of like kicked off the whole HoboNasties thing." And it wasn't even because of the content of the movie necessarily, because The Driller Killer, you think it's a slasher movie, but it's not really. It's kind of more a psychological horror with some slight slasher movie elements to it. But the whole reason that the whole shit got kicked off was because of the fucking poster, or the fucking ad of the poster that they ran like in a magazine that had like a dude like, you know, drilling into the dude's head, which was like a scene from the movie where he goes around with a drill and like drills into people's heads, like homeless dudes and stuff. And so they put that on the cover, and I guess it worked because, you know, people went to see the movie. But that was kind of the whole thing that kicked off. I don't know if that kicked it off necessarily. It might have happened anyway. But I feel like that was kind of like the catalyst, you know what I mean? Like everybody's seeing that, it's like, oh my god, we can't have these ads like being in this magazine where children can see it and stuff like that, even though it's like obviously fake. Zach said Possession, I think, is the best HoboNasty movie. That one is like legit high art almost. Honestly, like Possession, one, I don't even know why that was even on there, because I mean, I'm not saying it's not fucked up, because it is, but it's fucked up in a different way. I kind of feel like a lot of the stuff that's on the HoboNasties list was just kind of like cheap, like, you know, cannibal movies and shit like that, or slashers. Possession is, I don't even know. I did like a long video about Possession not too long ago. It's its own thing. It's definitely an art film, and it's definitely one of the most disturbing what the fuck things I've ever seen. Also, it's one of the most, it's a couple of the most fearless acting performances I've ever seen. Isabella Johnny and Sam Neill, they just fucking go for it in this one. You know what I mean? Isabella Johnny, I think, had like years and years of fucking I don't know if I'd call it PTSD after doing this movie, but I wouldn't blame her if she had that, because like the shit that she did in this movie is just like, it's crazy. This is a crazy fucking movie. It was out there. And I still am not, I've seen it a couple times, but it's like, I'm not entirely sure that I understand but again, I don't understand why it was on the Video Nasties list. Yeah, there's some fucked up shit in there. Yeah, Isabella Johnny fucks a tentacle monster. But there, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of violence and blood and stuff. But it's like, it's not, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing than say like Cannibal Ferox. You know,
yeah,
which was
fuck Carol, I think.
Well, Cannibal Holocaust is the one you're probably thinking of.
Yeah,
there was a.
As soon as I saw that dude fucking stick that sharp stick through a quadamundi, I'm like, nope, turn that shit off.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Like, look,
that. No.
I like Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah. It's an important film. It's technically the first found footage film, if you want to be like that about it, pedantic about it. So it is important in horror history, and I think it is a good film in its own right. But I don't think you can't defend the animal cruelty and the animal killing in there, because there's no reason. They were just making a movie. You didn't really have to kill those animals for real.
Just to make a movie, yeah.
Just to make a movie. You know, and you could like argue, oh well, people ate it afterward, whatever. It's still, you were just making a movie. You cut off a turtle's head on camera. You killed a coatamundi. You know, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Yeah. And honestly, like, I can watch them kill people for fake in movies all day fucking long, and it doesn't bother me.
I can kill animals. I can shoot deer fucking with fucking bows and fucking. But the thing is, I'm not sticking a sharp stick through a little coatamundi that you have in your hand and it's begging. No, don't do that. And you're not going to eat it.
That's what I mean.
And that's, you know what I mean? Fucking rifle fire is damn near instant. A good hunter, that fucking deer doesn't know what the fuck hit it. All right. I'm just not in it. And I don't agree with trapping either. It's just too much stress on the animal. No. Animals don't deserve that. Even though you can say, the realist in me says, well, a lot of these animals die by being eaten alive by another animal. That's
sure, but that doesn't mean that's okay for you to do it.
Yeah,
that's just a justification because to make you feel like less bad about it.
When you have an animal eating another animal alive, at least they're trying to survive. The other animal's trying to feed its babies. You know?
Right.
But
it doesn't know any better. If you're just making a
movie and you're sticking a damn stick through a fucking animal. No.
That's what I mean. You're a human.
That's not natural.
You should know better.
Yeah. That's not natural.
Don't just use the excuse, oh, well, other animals do it. Oh, and so you're just saying you're no better than that?
Another animal wouldn't even do that.
Right.
Another animal wouldn't stick a stick through the damn coatamundi while it's going, no. They would fucking bite it around the neck, shake it like that, and fucking break its neck, kill it. You know? Or sometimes I've seen some weird shit where a bunch of lions jump on a zebra, and one lion's trying to choke the zebra out, which is that they're just kind of programmed to do that, grabbing it by the throat, which that's not bad, being fucking choked out. I've had dudes choke me out during fucking wrestling matches and shit. But the thing is if you look closely, the other lion, that the fucking thigh has already pulled a fucking whole bite out of that damn zebra while that zebra was still awake. You know, poor thing. But that's nature. Nature is fucking very cruel.
And like
but that doesn't mean you have to be cruel.
A lion doesn't think about it.
No, a lion's not thinking about it.
A human knows better.
Yeah, right, yeah. A lion just goes, I want some of this. Oh, it's still alive? Oh, well, you know.
I don't like that excuse that humans give. It's like, oh, well, animals do it. I'm like, well, yeah, but you should know better.
Yeah.
You should know better.
Well, you're making a movie. You don't need to be fucking...
That's what I mean. To be honest, like, the older I get, like I said, kill all the people you want fake in horror movies. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Kill a cat or a dog, we're going to have a problem. Even if it's fake. I don't like it. Like, don't do that.
If an animal falls into your custody, you as a human being really should try to help it. You know,
well, yeah.
Every time a bear walked up on me, I'm like, "What's up, bear? How you doing?" I'm trying to socialize, and they run. You know.
Shit, man.
I'll be friends with the bear.
I won't even kill a fucking spider. You know.
Yeah, I'll be like, "You want something to eat? I got food."
You can raid the fridge if you want.
Because
they'll
come in the house.
They'll open your refrigerator. They're not dumb.
I mean, I made the mistake of feeding the damn birds, and they keep coming back, fucking pop on the fucking
shit, man.
window
One time,
to get in the house.
You give You give Sandhill Cranes bread one time.
Oh, they remember you.
They remember you. And then when they have babies...
They come bring the baby.
They bring the baby, and they will knock at your door with their beaks.
Yeah, pop, 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 pop. They try to wait, and you open up.
And then you open up, and there's like birds.
A person, there's birds standing there.
Looking
big
at
fucking
you.
4 foot tall, 5 foot tall
We had that happen
birds.
several times at our old
going,
house.
what the fuck you doing here? I got the baby.
And they just did.
Yeah, they got the baby. They're like, the baby. They know exactly. They're smarter than birds are smarter.
You're the bread man.
Yeah, bread man. Birds are smarter than you think you are. You said, bitch.
They're totally not dumb.
Bitch, you remember.
Seriously, I have a book over there. It's called The Mind of the Raven.
Yeah.
And it's by an ornithologist who raised ravens. Read that shit. You'll be amazed at how fucking smart crows and ravens are. They're smarter than some people I know.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's pretty frightening. It's not frightening, but it's enlightening for sure. But another thing I was gonna what was that other movie that I just thought of it and then I just forgot. Because he was saying like that was good recommendations. Like I said, Come Tree, that was one good one. In Fabric, that was another good one that I really liked. Shit, I had another one that I was gonna say. And somebody like something that somebody mentioned like reminded me of it. Canak says happy birthday, Tom.
Who?
Canak says.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, his birthday's tomorrow. Like I said, we already
Birthday's
gave him,
tomorrow. We're doing it today because
we already gave him presents and we already had
Yeah.
cake. Well, we got
Already
cake
cake.
left. We got
to
cake
shoot
left
content tomorrow, man. Come on.
Yeah, Saturday is.
You can't be
is
making porn on your
is
birthday.
Shooting porn day. Well, no, I mean we could do birthday.
We got
porn.
shit we got to do.
We could do birthday porn.
Yeah. We ought to actually fucking stream.
Well, I thought about that. Like, well, here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll have to use this laptop.
Yeah.
In
do
which
a test stream.
In which case,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to unhook everything because it's attached to this, which is attached to the wall, and then that's like. So we're gonna have to move everything.
I might be able to move the whole desk and rotate the desk out. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
That would probably be better because
tomorrow we'll figure out the logistics of the other studio because we're not gonna shoot on this studio. We got another direction. It looks a lot cooler over there.
Yeah, over there is like that's our.
Yeah, I mean I can pick up the camera and show you, but it looks like a whole different room because we got these fucking red, damn, almost like funeral drapes, and they look cool as shit. I showed my porn buddy fucking Bill that. He goes, "Oh man, that backdrop's fucking awesome. It looks satanic as crap." I go, yeah.
I love my curtains.
That's gonna be what we're.
Dude, I got those on Amazon for like $18.
I'm gonna show y'all. That's what we're talking about.
Don't give everybody motion sickness.
No. Hold on.
We'll show them the valance as well.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's the best part.
That's what we're talking about. And there's like these weird fucking mirrors and stuff.
there's the shelf with all the dildos and lube on it.
Yeah. So Jenny has to point out the dildos.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In case somebody was like, "Hey, are those dildos?" Yeah, they are.
So, look! I set it down perfectly. Got Spock lined up and everything.
Well, kind of.
Okay, move it a little bit.
Not exactly. Don't get excited.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, John says, happy birthday, Tom. My future gift to you is I'll go to the honky motherland, buy some land, and build a kick-ass gothic castle above a small hamlet on a hill, and you both can come and have fun.
Okay, cool. We'll shoot material.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got to shoot.
We'll shoot content.
We got to shoot. Well, we might go eat tomorrow, and then we'll come back and get ready and shoot some. But that's what we always do on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday is kind of like our... Isn't that funny? Like, Saturday is our porn shooting day.
Yeah.
Not so much in the morning. In the morning, we like run errands and stuff, but then in the afternoon, we get ready and fucking shoot stuff. Subjective Perspective is talking about Man from Deep River. That's right, first Italian cannibal film. It is really good. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it for a very long time. But I saw it like a long time ago. Because, like I said, I went through a thing where I was trying to. Oh, there's Pokey.
She's heavy and fat. Why are you getting so fat?
Don't call her fat.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck up her
She
self-esteem.
weighs. She doesn't know what I'm saying.
Yes, she does.
She understands what I'm trying to say. Why are you so fat? You need to go on a diet.
She's like, fuck you, Daddy. I'm not fat. I'm
she
fluffy.
eats without limits.
Well,
you're gonna get fat.
That's our fault, though.
Although Manxes just get fat.
Yeah,
they
she's
say they're
she's
little short
a
little
Manx.
fatties. You're so fat.
She's just round.
Yeah, that's all ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys know about the what was his name?
Coco.
Coco, the gorilla that learned sign language, very famous.
Yeah.
He had a kitten.
It was a she.
She had it, yeah.
Yeah.
And the kitten's name was Allball, and it was a Manx. And Pookie is also a Manx.
Yeah. And when you say the word all ball, it doesn't make sense until you own a Manx.
Until you see a Manx, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, everything on it
That's
is round.
why the gorilla named it Allball.
The head is a round ball, the fucking belly is a round ball, the fucking
and then they have these tiny little short legs.
It's all
she's just round.
All little round balls. That's what she's talking about. All
and then
balls.
they have that tiny little, like, popsicle stick tail sticking out.
Yeah, look
that wags.
Look at her. She's laying on the ground all stretched out with a tail wag.
Her little back legs are like stretched out. Her little drumsticks. That's what I call them. Because they look like little chicken legs.
Yeah.
Her little chicken leg. Don't touch them though, because she has a fucking freak out.
Don't touch me.
Well, she has the thing where it's like, I'm gonna stick my feet out like this, like very obviously. But if you touch them, because Tom is like, I can't resist, and he just like goes in there, and she gets really mad. She's like, stop
my feet,
and she just like tucks. It's almost like she wants you to touch her feet, but if you do, she like gets really upset. You're hilarious. You're a hilarious cat. Subjective Perspective says, happy birthday, Tom. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
John says, I'll give you guys your own wing to shoot content in the castle just for that.
Okay.
I'll be over in the library dressed like Vincent Price from House of Usher.
Right. We're gonna give you the camera, bro. You're gonna be shooting it.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to put anybody in that position if they don't want to be in that position. You can't do that.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll shoot some shit tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe shoot some shit for my shit.
Well, I told you we need another photo of like both of us for StreamMate. Because at the moment, like StreamMate's approved, but it's like the photo I have up there is just me, and it's a good photo.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like we should put one. Okay,
we get that wig and we'll do a photo shoot, me and you.
Yeah.
In the fucking selfie ring.
Yeah. And I don't think for the bio photo, because I'm not sure where they use that.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if you can do nudity.
No.
I don't think you can. You can do like suggestive stuff.
See, here's the thing about the photo you want. I'm almost thinking not to have me in it. Because the customers really are not there for me. They're there for you. I'm more like a fucking accessory. So it would probably be better to just have you on that.
Yeah, but the thing about it was that when I was scrolling through all the other couple videos, they all had a photo of like they had like a sexy photo of like both of them.
All right. Well, we could have
just so like people would know.
We could have more than one, and if you ever need to go solo, you could just change the photo out. They probably will. If the photo's approved, then you could probably rotate them, right?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how long it takes for them to approve them.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of feel like as long as you're both approved, because I have the thing approved now. It's like both of our IDs have been uploaded. They accepted our photos and all that. So it's like they just want to make sure no one underage is in there or anything. So the thing, like my dashboard on there now says like both of us are now allowed to appear on camera. So I imagine that whatever we do, it's like okay, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But like I said, I have to look at their rules again because I'm not entirely sure. Like before we stream, I need to know what's allowed in the free section because I don't want to do shit that's not allowed in there, like accidentally.
Another thing is are all those weird ass dicks allowed?
That's another thing. I'm not entirely sure because
some of that shit's not human.
We'll see. And I know that
I think they're allowed.
I know this is weird, but like some platforms, even though they're not real, obviously, but some platforms have a problem with sex toys that look like animal dicks. You know what I mean? Even though they're not real. Because it's like too suggestive of something. Not all platforms do, but it's like some of them. I know that some platforms do ban some of those ones that look like dog dicks or horse dicks or whatever. Like they won't let you do that. I think StreamMate is okay with that because we have seen some like people on StreamMate that used some of those or like use the horse dicks or whatever. But like I said, they're not real, so it's not like obviously you can't really put like bestiality on that or anything. But some of them don't even like the whiff of that, even if it's fake. So you really have to be careful. That's the thing about one thing that I kind of like have been kind of like realizing during the course of getting ready to do this is that there's really a lot. You have to tiptoe around a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she had the number 13 in her name. They didn't like that.
Because I was trying to tie it in with 13 o'clock because I wanted to tie in with the larger branding.
You were like, that sounds underage. So
well, they basically said, you can't have a nickname on StreamMate that has a number in it that's under 18.
Right, yeah.
Whether it's a number or whether it's spelled out, because I tried to spell it out and they're like, yeah, you can't do that either. Okay. And it's just because they're like...
They want pedos on there.
Yeah, they didn't want to... It's because of pedos.
Yeah, yeah. But you wouldn't think of that unless you were in
They're like, the number has to be over 18.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you can have a nickname that's like Jenny 19.
Yeah.
You can do that. But I was trying to do 13 Cam, which was like the name that we were using for Twitter. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't have anything with a number in it that's less than 18. Because, like I said, because of pedo.
You wouldn't think of that.
Yeah, I didn't think of it. Yeah. But then, like, when they said it, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't thinking of in terms of, like, because I'm not a pedophile, so I wasn't thinking in those terms. Yeah. But I guess that's where they, like, we can't have any kind of, like, suggestion that anybody would be searching for anything, like, with that number. And I was like, well, shit. Because I tried to explain. I was like, look, we have a channel, like, called 13 O'Clock, and I'm just trying to tie it in with the larger brand. And they were, like, not having it. So... But like I said, I started another Twitter, and that's called 13. I haven't put anything on it yet, but that's just called 13 Cam. But so I was trying to call it the same thing on StreamMate, but they wouldn't let me. So I think I ended up having to call it Gen Tom Cam or something like that. They wouldn't let me call it a number. Oh well, what are you gonna do? We don't have a link tree yet. You guys will know when it's ready. Yeah, we're trying to get everything like set up. Like I said, I have the Twitter everything's under set up. Yeah. And we have several weeks worth of... I have, like, several dozen photos. We have, like, several hundreds. Yeah, like, well, I mean, not all of them are, like, fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? But I have, like, a lot of photos. We have, like, several videos. Shit like that. I want everything... teaser videos. Yeah, I want everything to be, like, ready before I start it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so... What time is it? It's about time to go. Yeah, I'm probably getting to a point where I'm tired, I'm kind of drunk. Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom. It's the whole thing. So, go ahead and shut it down. Go ahead and shut it down, Jim. All right. So, as I said, on Sunday, we will be back talking about the new Brandon Cronenberg film, Infinity Pool, which we watched last night. So, we're going to talk about that on Sunday. We talked about it a little bit today, but we'll kind of go more in-depth on Sunday. So, I'm excited about it because I was really into this movie. So so we'll kind of like talk about it on Sunday. But yeah, so have a good rest of your evening, you guys. Have a good day tomorrow. And we will see you guys again on Sunday evening. Good night.